You've got the look in your eyes. You're on the mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show 'em what you got. Step up and take what's yours. You are kings now, Clash of Titans.
All right. Hey everyone, Anthony with Tornado Tag Podcast. I don't know what episode we're on. I always do that. I always say
at like 35.
it's somewhere up there. We're growing. We're getting there.
30-ish.
We're creeping.
Now let me
up.
get this straight. We're in this adventure 52 weeks and we only have 35 episodes.
We took a couple weeks off. We're going to be taking a couple weeks off towards the end of the year as well.
Holiday
Yeah,
season.
here and there. You know.
Yeah. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on. We're going to continue that trend tonight with calling in and having an interview. But before we get into our interview, just want to say thank you guys for the continued support. Show's doing really well on the audio end and on the YouTube end. We had that 1 week where videos didn't do very well on YouTube, and then it just got like a huge bump. Like everyone wanted to go check it out, which is good. Mm-hmm. While you're there, please hit that like and subscribe button. Even if you're listening to it on a podcast app, hit subscribe. Because what?
It's somebody with an A sausage.
Hit that subscribe as well because it definitely helps us out. Also, we do have our merch store, so if you want to grab some cool Tornado Tag Pod merch or any other of the shows that we have here, you can grab them. And all the money does go helping getting new equipment. Speaking of new equipment, this might be the last time you see this style camera.
Well, they're never going to see the camera, but
no, it'll definitely see a change in quality. Quality of the camera is going to change.
well, they're never going to see the camera.
Yeah.
I'll do like a new setup video or something, and we'll figure it out.
What are we going to do? Turn the table around and face it toward the back wall?
Put a big mirror, so the mirror and the camera showing.
But yeah, so we have some cool stuff on the way. The first thing we want to cover here, I'm actually going to turn over to Brian because we did have a loss in the wrestling community.
And it's a damn shame for how it happened. So if anybody ever read the article.
Such an awful story, and this is concerning Matt Travis, who was a House of Glory regular. He had been doing a lot with CZW, had been doing a lot with Game Changer Wrestling, actually wrestled Jimmy Lloyd there very recently, and just an awful story. This past Saturday, the 9th, he was riding his bike near the Willis Avenue Bridge in East Harlem, and a dump truck made an illegal turn and killed him in a hit-and-run accident. It's actually like the 27th or 28th.
That was a lot of
hit and run.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So illegal left turn and then hit and run.
Yeah.
And then the truck never stopped. You just
Just kept going.
Yeah.
So whatever.
And I don't want to I kind of don't want to just bring up all the stuff he's done in wrestling just because it's the real tragedy here. It's a 25-year-old guy.
Yeah. So
he's dead because of stupidity.
Yeah.
Pure stupidity.
But a lot of notable people, obviously, have come through House of Glory, Private Party, Main Event. So many people that this guy, who this guy was really a friend to, and just a shame that this happened.
This past Saturday at the Impact show, Main Event actually left right after the match was over and rushed back there to be with their friends.
It just another thing we definitely want to put out there, man, is life is short, and you're never promised tomorrow, regardless of if you're in control or not. And it just goes to show, like, you support these people, man. These athletes, these professional wrestlers, they're out there, putting the work in, put on entertainment for you guys, and you never know when the next time you're going to say goodbye to somebody is, and sometimes you don't even have that opportunity. So cherish your time that you have on this earth, and cherish the ones around you, because, like I said, tomorrow's never promised for anyone, and it's a shame, because already, if you just see the outpour of everything that's been going on social media, man, people have really been saying, the effect he has had on their life, just even being a 25-year-old, guy. Yeah. So that's important. So regardless of what you think you may or may not do in your life, you'll think you'll never become famous, you'll never do this, but you can always leave an impact on someone's life. You can always leave a lasting moment, and that can happen at any day or any time. And that just goes to show you, with a 25-year-old individual who's now no longer with us, the outreach of people just saying how he affected them personally and on a positive level. Yeah. So our definitely our thoughts are out there for his family and friends and colleagues in the wrestling business. We don't have any cool like sound effects for 10 bell salute, but yeah, that's definitely going to happen this weekend at the House of House of Glory show. I almost said Ring. I don't know. House of Glory.
Ring of Glory was actually a short-lived religious promotion.
That was Vince Russo's thing, right?
But yeah, they're going to do a tribute to him this weekend and dedicate the show to it. So our guest on the phone, Foxx Vinyer, at a pretty much everywhere, but mostly out of PPW.
I don't understand how you keep butchering his name.
What is it?
Foxx Vinyer.
Foxx Vinyer. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. Who was the one person I kept saying it wrong too? No, I always called PPW and Outbreak. I switched to PPW and Outbreak all the time.
You always mess up Shayna Baszler too, pretty bad.
I'm Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heaton. Heaton.
Bobby Heaton.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names.
But yes, on the line we have Firework Foxx Vinyer. What's going on, buddy?
Good save,
I'm
Dave.
going to need a better introduction from that guy.
Fox, he screwed up Bobby Heenan's name too. You're in good company.
Yeah, I
mean, I don't got the big confetti firework like you do. It's the best we got.
My intro was not nearly of what you're gonna get when you see him perform live. It is he runs out like the Ultimate Warrior. There's shit flying in the air. It's a great time. We did say in one of our post shows after PPW is that he's someone that sticks in your brain after the show's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter who is on the card that night. And that's not easy to do at PPW because there's so many eye-catching performances that are going to happen that night. But he definitely sticks out as one of the top ones from the time his music hits to the time he hits the curtain again.
He's going to leave an impression, and you're going to remember. You might not remember his name, Tony, but you're going to remember him.
I'm close. I was really close.
Not quite.
Yeah, but
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Tell him.
Yeah.
I think you said Foxx Vinyer.
That's exactly what he said.
I almost said vinyl, like Vox. I almost said Fox, but it's Foxx
Vinyer.
Vinyer. Yes,
I think you're mixing Ryan Vox.
Yes, that's what it is. Ryan Vox is where I'm stumbling.
Take a lap.
Take a lap.
I'll be back. You guys take it from here.
All right.
Fox Vinyl is actually Foxx Vinyer's nemesis.
Yes, that's his evil doppelganger. So
moving on.
Yeah. So thank you so much for calling in, man. So we just want to get into a little bit of like the history and how you got into this and stuff like that. But how we say, like, for the most part, we've seen you. The only place we've really seen you so far is PPW. That's our local stomping grounds that we go see all the time. We'll kind of Tarantino it, but to start here. But how has PPW been as a company for you to work with?
PPW, since I started there in January, has been amazing, and that's because, that's because they let Firework be the Firework. They're not like, hey man, we can't use confetti here. Hey, don't paint your face. Hey, don't be you. They said, hey, get the ass out there and do your thing.
Yeah,
and so I do.
Now, is that
so
something?
It's been amazing. It's been awesome.
Is that something that you can get stuff from promoters? Like, we don't want the face paint because it'll get the rig.
We want a serious character or something.
No, not really the face paint. More like the confetti. Like, hey, are you gonna clean that up after?
Could you imagine out there with a broom after the show's over?
Yeah, like, I mean, I cleaned it up on Sunday. If anyone was there, I was cleaning my own stuff up. I don't mind doing it.
You should use another guy to clean up for you. Like you grab him like in the movie where you slide him down the bar.
Yeah. It's like, I remember cleaning up after people paying my dues. It's what we do in the band.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, like, I do what I do, and I ask permission. Like, hey man, is this cool? They're like, yeah, whatever, you know. If not, then you guys have to supply me with some pyro.
Yep.
I mean, we got some sparklers, we got some snakes. Take your pick.
Snakes and sparklers.
So the snakes will be perfect that no one can see. Don't even show that on camera.
We'll just get Frank will have to like lay in his belly and put the camera right on and just watch the snake.
Oh God.
It would be a funny, hilarious picture, though. Just Frank laying on his belly trying to get a shot of a tiny little snake burning.
But I think we were at Fox's debut show, actually, back in January. Debuted with the Punk Rock All-Stars.
Yes. Which I guess
they debuted with me.
There you go.
I was gonna say it was the other way around, but it was one of those things where like, hey, he has a unique look, and so do these guys. Let's make him a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing fine. Could have got rid of the girl. We didn't need her.
She went with you, right?
No, Adina was in that match.
No, but didn't the girl leave the Punk Rock All Stars for a minute because she like low blowed?
No, you're thinking Jason King.
That was Jason King.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a Punk Rock All Star girl.
Yeah, totally different.
Wrong girl.
All I know is
Wrong
that
girl.
after my time, I say, get the step and get out of here. I don't need you anymore. Actually, I kind of forgot she was at ringside sometimes. I'm like, who the hell's this? Why does the ref have blue hair?
Yeah, the females don't stick around very long in PPW, which is kind of a shame because you have Christina and Adina who are kind of like the staples, and then people kind of come and go after like a show and a half. They don't stick around very long.
They're like the Medusa and Bull Nakano of PPW now.
Bring somebody else in every now and then.
So, starting it from the beginning now, what was your moment where you seen professional wrestling and you were like, oh my god, this is something that's going to be an impact on my life for the rest forever?
Oh, I don't know. Probably yesterday. When I first started watching wrestling, I was like 5, 4, 6, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
My old man would always take us down, me and my brother, down to watch at the Knickerbocker Arena where the Royal Rumble 1992 was.
Ooh.
So, like, and also, just a little knowledge for anybody listening, as I hail 10 miles north of Albany. The arena that's close to me, that is where Ric Flair won the 92 Rumble, where Edge retired, where Edge won the title, where Edge got his name from the radio station. This is not about Edge. What else happened? Kurt Angle beat The Rock for the title at No Mercy 2000. I think it was 2000.
And he called it Albany.
It's historic. and the
I was gonna say
the beer truck.
Oh, the beer truck. There. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How about that? That's the best Royal Rumble.
And the new dude. Yeah, wow. and DX started right after WrestleMania. Everything was in Albany, and yet here I sit.
So, do you remember your first match or the first thing you ever saw in wrestling, like that hooked you and that was like, okay, I can really get into this?
+15707894627.
I didn't. Well, I was always like, I remember my favorite growing up was Hogan and Brett. So I would always have like black sweatpants on, like my dad's giant tube socks that he wore for work because they were white, and I'd have a black tank top, and somehow I think it was maybe his leather jacket, and I would walk down my hallway at my house, and I had like 4 doors because there's all the bedrooms and a bathroom, so I would hit every doorknob like they were fans. And then I would walk onto my father's giant king queen size bed, and then like I would tie ropes against, like I would tack them into the wall to make ropes, and I'd wrestle pillows and my wrestling buddies. And then eventually I was just like, oh, here's the backyard. Oh, I'm gonna put fence posts in the ground. Oh, this and this. Oh, here's Attitude for PlayStation. Oh, Fox Vinyer born 1999, and here we are today.
What wrestling buddy did you have?
I had Hogan. My brother had Ultimate Warrior. I have an Ultimate Warrior sitting right in front of me right now.
Nice.
I wish I can get another one. I'm trying to find them. I had a Hogan and Jake.
Yeah, my buddy down the street, they had $1 Million Man, Macho Man.
I think that was the first line. Yeah, I think the first line was Hogan, Warrior, Macho Man, and Jake the Snake Roberts. $1 Million. Yeah,
I never had any.
And then the second line they added LOD, and then they added LOD, and then WCW made like rip-off ones.
Yeah, I remember. You could twist their nose and they talk. Or
something. It had, and that was Sting,
DDP. My sister had a DDP.
Yeah, DDP,
Macho Man Goldberg.
Yeah, Macho Man Goldberg.
And probably Hogan.
Yep. Yeah.
The one that was like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're twisting my arm.
Yeah,
There's like some really bad voice.
Yelled at. Yeah, I don't think it was even the wrestler's voice.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I remember the mess.
Well, of course not.
They should bring those
the one
back.
Was like, the one like, I'm definitely Hulk Hogan, brother.
Yeah, the guy never listened to Hogan in his life.
It was Brad Garrett again.
Yes,
Horse was
it's
amazing.
funny because your two favorite were like my like they're the ones that like I refuse to like because everyone else. I was like an HBK and Macho Man guy. I was the exact counter opposite of you.
Oh, I remember I went down and I watched the Rockers. They wrestled. I don't even remember who they wrestled. Maybe the Bushwhackers or something.
Jesus.
And I remember buying I got like the poster. I remember the poster because I had it hanging up for a long time of Sean like dropping an elbow and like Marty just like in the background or whatever.
Well, their
I
move
remember
was Marty stood in the corner and kind of Sean jumped over him. Like Marty had nothing to do to enhance the move, but Sean just like maybe stood on his shoulders for a second, which gave him maybe another inch higher than the turnbuckle, and then he would just jump off that into an elbow drop, and that was their finisher, or like a splash or something. It was so weird.
Maybe that's what it was. It was a cool picture, and I always was like, oh, this is so cool. And then like a few years later, I got when Sean turned what do you call it?
Marty in the barbershop.
Yeah, and I had like his like weird cab driver hat,
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and it was like the weirdest hard pleather fake chipping away stuff you'd ever seen in your life. And I was like, I love this. I'm like heartbreaking, and I was dancing. I remember dancing around when you see it at the '97 Rumble.
Mhm.
I was like 13, dancing on my bed, like
Yeah, people
I'm a heartbreaker.
people always say that the '92 Rumble is the best Rumble of all time.
Well, because it was.
The next one was my favorite because that's the one Sean won, was '93.
That was 95.
95. I thought. Oh yeah, you're right. 90, yeah, 95.
96.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, it was 2 years later. But the '92 one is the best one.
Davey Boy got screwed in that Rumble, by the way. That sound guy was in on it.
We went to a show in Hershey, and my buddy's mom was like, "Oh, I'm going to buy you guys merch," and I was like, "Cool." And I think I wanted that hat you're talking about, and she refused to buy it from me because he was a bad guy, and she didn't want to represent what he represented, so she bought me Bret Hart glasses.
Oh God.
That hat always reminded me of Barry Didinsky. He was this guy who was there for a while, like 94, 95, and would sell all this stuff. He'd be like over on the side, and he would sell the Shawn Michaels glasses with the red hearts.
And then
Yeah.
the piece ones.
yeah.
Yeah, the Peace ones, yeah. So some of your influences obviously were Hogan and Michaels. At what point were you like, okay, I'm going to start going into training, or even finding out about a training in your area?
Well, my best friend from school, from like 7th grade, in high school or school, whatever, he left in like 9th grade and then came back. So I just happened to see him driving by one day, and I said, "Oh shit, I'm gonna go chase him down." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm going. I work at Gold's Gym. I'm going to meet a trainer who's gonna train me to wrestle." I said, "Oh, let me go check it out." I was in a ring once when I was 13, and so I went up and met the trainer, and I was like, "Yo, I want to do this." He's like, "Hey, if you give me some money, I can, train you." I didn't have a job at the time. I was like 24, 21, something like that. And I was like, I need a job. And then the next morning, a pizza shop called me asking if I wanted to work. So I was like, "Can I get an advance, please?" And then I started my training. What's 7 days after 5th? Whatever that match is, like February 12th or something like that. 2006.
Wow.
Because I remember it was right after. No, I lied. The week before that, because it was right after my friend's, my tag partner's birthday, because I was fucked up. I was like, "This is the first day of training. I don't want to do this. Why am I puking?" Because I never had like Red Bull and vodka before, and I was like, "Ooh, this tastes amazing." I'm an idiot.
That'll do it every time.
Who was your trainer at that point?
My trainer was just plain black, JP Black.
I'm not familiar with
He
him.
was trained by Tony DeVito.
Okay. One of the baldies.
And
Macho Libre.
we were at Do or Die Academy. And then, so the first weekend, he's like, "All right, you're now training. You're coming on the road with me to Rochester. Get some money, you're paying." And then, so in the car, it was me, my tag partner, my trainer, and Bobby Fish. And we went all the way to Rochester, 4-hour drive. And I was like, "Oh, cool, this is what's happening here." And that's how I did it. And I would train, I don't know if you guys know Cheech and Cloudy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Cloudy would come up and train. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Now, the Outcast Killers, Fish, all these dudes. One of my favorite training sessions, because me and my tag partner, my best friend, was like, yo, we want to be tag. We want to be a tag team. And so my trainer's like, oh, you want to be a tag team? Yeah. All right. Tomorrow we got tag training. So we show up thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. We're going to do tag team, man. We're LOD. And then the Outcast Killers, the Now, and Bobby Fischer, my trainer. And it was an 8-hour session of, hey, which one of you can take a better spine buster?
Oh,
which
boy.
one of you can do an elbow? Oh, Fish, you have a new suplex you want to try? Here, Foxx can help you out. And the next day, legit, I had to walk with a walker.
Oh, my, I can imagine getting thrown around for that long. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you ever watch any of my stuff, I now can take an amazing spine buster.
There you go.
So they knew what they were doing.
So,
And it will never pin me from it because I'm trained to take it.
so
Let it be known,
did you
no
have
one
an
with spine
amateur
buster can
background?
beat me.
Let's say it again, Dave.
No.
You didn't wrestle in high school, football, anything?
I played with wrestling toys in high school.
It seems very like you were you were pretty set on this for a very, very long time. Wrestling was a very big cornerstone of you. It wasn't something like I was a fan and I also dove into some football and some basketball. It seemed like at a very young age you were going to step
All in.
between those ropes. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like as a kid, I played like I was like an all-star baseball player, and then like I played like basketball and stuff growing up. But I never did like any like besides that like high school. I was on the soccer team varsity for 1 week until my coach was like, I can't train you in soccer, so you have to get off the team. And I was like, I just want the W, man. For my high school, get on the jacket. Nope. So, F you, Coach Lane.
Where's he now?
Yeah. But like I say, like how you didn't get a job to get a job. You got a job to support wrestling. Like it seemed like what I'm saying is you were very driven in that aspect of that's what you were going to do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like so what happened was like I trained for like 9 months, and then like life got in the way. Had the girlfriend, fiance, bought a house, all that stuff, and then didn't do anything for 3 years, and then another school opened. Same thing, rewind. My tag partner's like, hey, there's a school open. You want to go check it out? And then we just worked out for 3 months. We got put on the show, and then since then I've been wrestling just about every weekend for the last 10 years.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
Now, who was your first match? Can you remember?
Yeah, my first match was a 6-man tag with me and my tag partner, R.L. Coleman. We were Capital Punishment.
Ooh.
Tagging with Ian Daniels, who, ironically enough, I backyard and went to high school with, versus Drake Evans, Max the Axe Burton, and Big Vigo at In Your Face Wrestling, July 18th,
Wow.
2009.
Wow.
You got-
I was just on a show with Drake Evans, actually.
I apologize.
Yeah, I met him like a couple of years ago. It was RCW down.
No, I think this-
that's cool. You can remember all that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think this is a redundant question. We usually ask a lot of our guests too, is because a lot of this behind the curtain stuff. Andy kind of brings to the table with wrestling. And Andy just started.
Oh, you mean like
kinda-
Andy's supposed to design me gear and hasn't? It's
Yeah.
been 7 months?
how Andy kind
there.
of keeps a log of his matches. Like, he hasn't done it since the beginning, but he just kind of started doing
wish,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, is that something that you've always kind of done? Like maybe kept a log of your matches and stuff like that?
I literally after every match, I go to my bag, get out my phone, and I write down the match and who it was for.
Oh, nice.
That's
I don't
awesome.
write down the date, but I'm just like, I don't need to know the date because, I mean, like, if you go to, like, cagematch.com, someone putting all these matches up there, too. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like I should have more matches for how long I've been in this game. But, like, the first year or two, I'm only doing, like, once a month feeling like big shit. Like, hey, man, yeah, I'm a telemarketer, like, I wrestle, like, once a month, killing it out there. I have this killing it.
What is your match count up to?
I'm at 513.
Wow.
Wow.
How about that?
That's awesome.
Do you remember offhand who
I feel
your
like it should be
500th
more.
match is with?
Yeah, yeah.
Probably
what?
Andy Header.
Maybe.
No, that's a lie. He was 492.
Wow. About
Wow.
Okay, close.
Very
You almost
close.
made it,
No,
Andy.
but sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of matches. Then I'm like, I don't. But then I realize where I am. There's people who like Rhode Island, Massachusetts, who can wrestle 4 times a week.
Yeah. Well,
And I don't know about you, but I'm not driving 3.5 hours to wrestle for free.
No,
Yeah.
I don't blame you at all.
Now when we did the spotlight on Juicin, what was his count supposed to be up
Oh,
to?
well, that's
Oh,
insane.
probably tens of thousands.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, it was his is like once again he probably wrestled like every day if he was able to.
Yeah, and a guy that's known for logging his matches like that is Jericho. Like even his second book, it was, I forget the exact number, but it was how to become world champion in like 2,000, however easy steps, because that was the match.
Yeah.
He lists and numbers all of his matches too.
That's awesome. I think that's a cool thing. I think
Yeah.
if I was into business at all, I would definitely know. I mean, I
actually
never
got it
podcasts.
from my tag partner was doing it. He was like, yeah. I go, you write down every match? He's like, yeah. So I was like, can I copy and paste that? Because for the first 2 years, we had the same matches. We were in tag team.
Yeah.
So, and then I just started writing them down, and it's cool because I can go back and be like, oh, I wrestled so and so on my like 4th match, 5th match, 20th match. Like my 500th. No, I have a cool story. It's like, let me open it up. My no, that's not right. Yes, correct. My 499th match was 4 blocks away from where I live right now, in the town that I grew up.
Wow.
And I was like, I got to defend the PPW No Limits Championship there.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, match 499. I'm number 499 in the 2019 PWI 500.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
How about that?
And
Cool.
I was like, oh, looks like I gotta get a tattoo of it.
$4.99.
499.
Now, was your character always like, even when you were in a tag team, was this character always the one you rolled with, or have you gone through some changes?
No, my God! Don't ever go back and watch my stuff. If you want to watch paint dry.
So
No, because like back in the Dizzle, me and my parents were like, "Yo, we're capital punishment. We're from the capital, and we punish people."
That's the depth
And
of
like,
it.
and I was just like a dude, I barely had any tattoos. I was just like a bigger guy. Like I weighed the same. I was still like 250, but just like a slob. And my tag partner's like, at the time, was like 360, 6'2", looked exactly like Umaga.
Wow.
Like,
Jesus.
wow.
Even like that was his favorite dude, and like even mimicked the gear off of him. So I'm like, you know what? Let's roll with it. And then like eventually stuff going. And the way that I became Firework was because I was in Slam All Star Wrestling in St. Albans, Vermont. Come on, St. Albans. And it was like, all right, I'm gonna try painting. I had my hair growing a little bit stupid, and I was like, I'm gonna paint my face a little bit. Let's see what this is about. And of course, it's the middle of August and it's hot as ball sack. So I'm like, okay, this paint's not sticking, and it dripped down into my beard.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. And then I went out, and it was like a 5-on-5 match. I will go back and look it up, but I don't care to. But I know it was against Shane Alden was cutting a promo. And everything that he said, he was like, you know what, tonight. And I was just walking on the outside of the ring, like puff chest, like, you know what, tonight. And my best friend, who's my tag partner, started laughing. And I said, I'm going to pop him the rest of this night. And then I just kept making him laugh. And I was like, maybe this is something.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I just started acting how I normally act if we hung out on a daily basis. Just now I don't have to be like, oh, hold on, let me be quiet because we're in public. Nope.
Yeah.
If I see you in public, was going to be like, hey, don't forget the milk.
Yeah, they said sometimes the best characters in the business are when you can be more yourself, and you don't have to, turn into like the gimmick wrestler. Yeah.
Right, like there's people who are like, oh man, that guy's a badass, and it's like, oh, he's a accountant, and it's like you can tell that they're like just playing a role rather than like, I mean, you guys have seen me in the ring, like that's how I go bowling.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like if I seen you come in and fix my copier at work, I'd be like, oh my god, like that guy is like,
is wild,
yeah,
man.
you're in great, you're great shape, you have a great look, but even when like it's crazy.
Hitting on me.
Yeah, depending on but I seen you at PPW and I didn't realize it was you without the makeup on. You had a completely different look from inside the outside the ring. And I didn't notice because I seen you across the way in the bleachers. I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was him that night. Like it was like you still kind of fit in. Like it's insane how much like the face paint can and just kind of you being you in the ring is completely different from when you're in street clothes.
One of my funniest things is that, like, you know, growing up, if you watch like the old Superman cartoons or whatever, and he's like has his hat and his glasses and he rips his shirt open, and I'm just like, Lois, you can't tell that that's Dean Cain?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And like obviously, like in the comics and stuff, Clark, he's hunched over and he talks really low and different compared to Superman, who's upright. Like, hey, what up? I got steel. I'm like, and then so I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that doesn't make sense to me until 4 weeks in a row I would go to a show and someone would shake my hand, introduce themselves, and I'd be like, all right, hey, how are you? And then the same 13 people, once I got ready to go fight somebody, were like, hey, I didn't get a chance to see you earlier. I said, I'm in here. I just wrestled you.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's
So now if I have my hat and glasses on when I'm like, before I morph, I'm just like, all right, cool, incognito. But then again, people are always like, hey, listen, I passed the airport test. So if anyone's listening and they're like, Fox Vinyer is not an airport test passer, bullshit.com/you, because people have come to me, hey man, you look like you do something. And I'm like, interpretive dance? What do you mean? You're like, do you fight? Are you an MMA fighter? I said, yeah, I'm tough. And then I'm like, I wrestle. They're like, oh, okay, cool, see you later. I said, well, get back here, guys.
So one thing I do have to ask is, how did you come up with your haircut?
I didn't cut it.
That's why you just let it grow.
Well, the story was, in 2014 or 2013, I've had it for a long minute. I was just like a regular bald guy with like a short beard, looked like a moron. And then I'm like, okay, well, this hair's never growing back, because I had longer hair when I was like 18, 25 or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I was in a band, so I said, oh, we're playing a benefit show? I'm shaving my head. I benefit everyone. And then it was like, guess what, homie? Never coming back.
Yeah.
So, and then I let it grow on one side. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see how this works. And I walked out through that curtain looking like a normal dude ready to mess somebody up, had a bandana on. That shit came off, and then instantly, you missed the spot. Who's your barber? And then I said, well, I guess that's instant. And then I just let it grow. And then, like, one of my favorite things about it was, everyone, why don't you grow it on two sides? I said, then I would play them along, like, yo, I can't think of that guy's name who does it. They're like, yeah, like Hawk. And they started naming a bunch of people. And I said,
Danny DeVito.
And they're like, oh, I get it. But, like, one of the best things in one of my matches was I was in New Hampshire, in a six-man tag against Brutus the Barber Beefcake. So I was like, here's an awesome idea. I put shaving cream all over the top of my head, and I interrupted his promo. I said, you did this to me. You didn't finish. And then the crowd was like, ha, 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 your hair's stupid. And then I think...
That's genius.
That's pretty good.
If you do ever grow out, if you ever do go out the other side, just throw on the singlet, and you could become the Trash Man, like Danny DeVito, like a jacked version of Danny DeVito and the Trash Man. I love that episode. The Birds of War. Yeah.
But one thing I do remember about Fox Vinyer is I came home on a Friday night, and I just happened to be flipping through the TV. Oh, hey, there's Impact Wrestling, and wouldn't you know it, they flipped to the ring. There's Fox Vinyer doing work.
That was right before the PPW show, too. A couple weeks before. Right?
It was at the ECW Arena, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was at the 2300. Or no, that was
It was so cool. When I got on that, I was like, yo, this is amazing. Because it was a week after PPW. I wrestled Molina and what's-his-face, Disco Inferno. Mm-hmm. And then, like, he was like, hey, there's Impact next week. I'm just going to be back down here. I said, wait, where's this Impact you speak of? And he's like, oh, it's at the arena. I said, oh, well, guess what? And then I showed up, helped out, did my dues, paid my dues, and then they're like, hey, you look weird. Come join us. And then it was awesome because I'm like, yo, I finally get the rest. Because I went there a bunch of times to Ring of Honor and everything. I never got on the show. besides like carrying Bobby Fish's like table and being like the background guy. And like, so being able to actually wrestle, I was like, this is awesome. And then you walk out back and you just see Tommy Dreamer, RVD, Sabu, and the Sandman just like ECW and outside. And you're like, what? Where am I? It was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's one of my things, Wrestling Arena.
We'll kind of get into it later, but during the Impact PPW show, I was so excited to see two absolute legends of the business of ECW in the ring at the same time. And it was a shame, man, because I didn't see a second of the match. I couldn't. I was so distracted.
You need to focus.
What's her name? I always
Was
forget.
Katie Forbes.
Katie
and
Forbes.
Rhino.
Yeah, Katie Forbes stole the show.
And she wasn't even really in the match.
By standing there.
All she had to do was stand there.
She wasn't standing there. She was twerking, dancing, and having a blast. And it was, I don't think, and if you've seen the only time I seen what was actually happening in the ring is when Katie got in and held the chair.
And she just happened to steal our picture.
Yeah.
Do we get some kind of copyright for that?
I don't care. I'm just happy she used it. I'm happy with it. Tyler took a picture.
Rhino's a former tag team partner of mine. So
Yeah, you did triple tag with him and next week's guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adina's going to call in next week.
Nah, we don't. She helped us lose that match. Oh, wait, no, we won that match.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, you won that
You
one.
won. She took a beat in that match.
You did it.
Kind of take a quick step away from wrestling here. I think a cool thing about you too, following your social media, you kind of tip the same hat as we do. You know, we do a show where it's wrestling, and then our other show that we do is all about like pop culture, where it comes to like comic books and video games and stuff. You kind of dabble in that world a lot too.
Yeah, I like nerdy stuff.
Are you picking a Pokemon today or tonight?
No, I don't.
No, not a Pokemon guy.
I never got it. The last thing of Pokemon I know besides that movie was like that weird game where you just go around taking pictures of them.
Oh, Pokemon,
Pokemon
Snap.
Snap, N64, yeah.
I used to feel cool, like, yo, I got this awesome picture. It's like, oh, I can't share it with anybody.
Yeah.
No one-
You used to be able to bring it to Blockbuster,
And
and
you
they had a
print it out or
machine, and
something,
you
yeah.
could print it. Yeah,
I'm like, how many people did that?
me once.
Everyone.
So what are you
guy's
mostly
still there.
into gaming wise? Are you a PC guy, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch?
I got a PS4 with my Darkwing Duck on.
Nice.
Nice.
Are you watching it
I
now
don't
on
play a
Disney
lot.
Plus?
I have it on because I just had to watch. I had to catch up on the Connors,
Okay.
even though I hate it without Roseanne, but I'm committed, so I have to. But as for the games, like I don't really game a lot because I don't have time. I mean, I do, I guess, but I don't want to because it's like, I hate first-person shooters because I can't see myself, and I like to lose myself and be like in a come here, cat, and be like imagine. So like I've been rocking GTA 4 or 5, I mean, since it came out. I remember when it came out and it went online. I think 10 days after it came, and my roommate at the time, he left for work at like 10 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna play the game. And then he came back at like 11 o'clock from his girlfriend's house. He's like, yo, you're still playing? I said, I haven't moved in 13 hours.
Oh my god.
And I just sat there and I was like, I'm just killing it online, having some fun. I had some beers around. I ordered a pizza. I said, this is the life. And now you can do everything you can. So I just sit there. My guy looks like he's from the future. He shoots a laser gun and he drives a DeLorean.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's what I play. I got Red Dead. I played that for a little bit. You know, I kicked the gator in the face, showed him what's up. But I haven't finished the story. I want to, but then I play online and I'm like, just trying to hunt and get my bounties. But other than that, Spider-Man was the last game I finished, which is the best game ever.
Yeah, so it's really good, Spider-Man for PS4.
I'm waiting for Black Friday.
$10 at Best Buy.
Andy's gonna try to get it for me on Black Friday. But
I gotta download the DLC so I can get the other like 40 costumes.
Oh
Or
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like the Black Cat thing. And there's some other story. I forget what it's called.
So since you're just eclipsing the 500 mark, what are some accomplishments you've done there? I know you have the PPW No Limit title. Have you reclaimed gold anywhere else or anything other major things that you're very proud of?
Yeah, let me look this up. I know I have it written down. Let me see. If you're asking notable companies that I have worked for.
Sure.
Sidebar. I went to Ireland and people knew who I was, so I was like, that's dupe.
Wow.
Anyway, so
I'd love to go to Ireland.
I've worked for some of my things. I've worked for Ring of Honor, Impact. I've done Monster Factory, Limitless, Northeast Wrestling, Combat Zone. Notable people I've wrestled. These are old. I need to update that. As for my championships, let me go there. I think I have that written down somewhere.
Who's your favorite person you've wrestled while you're looking that up? Off the top of your head.
Favorite person that I've wrestled?
Yep.
Oh, man, I don't know.
That's a tough question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Or what about that one guy you're going to step in the ring with every time you guys step in the ring together and you guys just kill it?
King Leon the Sixth.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fun.
Here's a PPW
That's one of my
times.
favorite. I defended my No Limits title against King Leon the Sixth in Schenectady, New York, in June, the end of June, and that match is one of my favorite matches. If you want to know what Firework Fox Vinyer is all about, get your ass to the YouTube and watch that match because you can see that in full-blown character.
I'll have to check that one out.
It's funny, earlier Fox brought up Cage Match, which is kind of in IMDb for wrestling. And you actually have one review on Cage Match. You can review wrestlers.
Really?
Yeah. And you have one review from 2016 from Dan Talks Wrestling. He rated you a 7
Whoa.
out of 10. Firework Fox Vinyer is certainly a colorful character with his face paint, sequins, light-up glove, and confetti poppers, but he backs it up in the ring with a good, somewhat throwback ring style utilizing powerhouse moves, including a nice rendition of the spinning power slam, but enough speed to hang with the lightweights.
That's a great
Yeah,
assessment.
because he's like, who's the shit?
Yeah, no, that was that's a great review.
So he's even better now, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to
I
Dan
am a
Talks
modern
Wrestling.
day throwback. But yeah.
You remind me a lot like with your speed and your strength, like a Rick Steiner. Is that fair to say? You say? Anyone agree? Disagree? Like his build, I think he has like an old school Rick Steiner. Like when Scott before Scott was like Big Papa Pump, and they were the Steiner brothers, and they were just like suplex and body slamming and just
Or even more
flying
so,
around the ring.
Even more so, the pre-Steiner Brothers TV champion Rick Steiner, where he's the fun-loving guy, but he's also going to beat the hell out of you when he gets older.
Yeah, it's a super. In the ring, you said you're very charismatic, colorful, but you're also very physical and strong, and also very quick in the ring.
Yeah.
Like what I like to be is what I can't think of a word. I have it written down somewhere, but it's like, those tree frogs that are super bright and poisonous.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, whoa! Look at that tree frog. It's so bright and cool looking. It is, but if you squid it the wrong way, you're dead. That's me.
That's what
Tree frog,
the villagers
fire
use
frog,
for
fire frog, fox Vinyer.
Firefly. There you go. So,
Ribbit.
what are some of your goals in the future with wrestling?
I definitely want to get a contract with a major I'm focusing on Impact because I have a good foot in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, anyone listening, your boy's ready. I mean, I've put out feelers for AEW, NWA Power would be amazing for me to be on. Like,
Absolutely.
It'd be perfect for that
I feel
show.
like one of the things that I asked one of my buddies, you may know his name. His name is Michael Orlando. I said, "Hey man, can you watch my match on Sunday at Impact's Overdrive?" And I said, "Don't just watch my match. I need you to watch the monitors and let me know if your boy looks good on the tube, because that's where a selling point is. If someone's like, oh yeah, I like his arm drag, but man, does he come off?" Someone messaged me and said they can feel my energy popping off the screen, and I was like, I feel so thankful. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, 100%. I think you definitely accomplish it every time you step in the ring.
So I'm ready to be at the next level. Like, I'm ready for someone to be like, you know what, Mr. Vinyer, man, here's a ball, run with it. And then I'll Forrest Gump that shit.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Sunday show at the mall in Steamtown. But if
you can watch it on Twitch.
Yeah, if
who did you take on at that show?
It was a tag match, I believe.
It was
a four-way.
Five.
Yeah.
4-way. No, it was a 4-on-4 match.
Mm-hmm.
and I wrestled. I know one of them was Ricky Martinez, Johnny Moran, Christina Marie, and Garrett Holiday.
Okay. But the
All I know is that Ricky Martinez got the Fox. Got him! That's like a rock bottom.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wrestled him years ago.
It's right. And I destroyed his face.
the
And he also
PPW
got-
superstars really showed up and showed out on the Friday show. So if you guys did that on Sunday, then Saturday, if you guys did that on Sunday, then you guys knocked it out of the park because the show that we seen, everyone that had an opportunity to step in front of that camera did a great job. They all had
the six-person Saturday was definitely match of the night.
yeah.
We actually
That
all
was
kind of
nuts.
agreed there.
When
Yeah.
Casey Navarro got back body dropped over the top rope, I wish I had my phone in slow motion. I was like, oh shit.
And then once again, Casey finds himself on the end of a slingshot Canadian destroyer, which baffles me on how the mechanics of that actually work.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was like, yo,
He got
stood up and I was
slingshot
like,
it.
all right.
Over and
Here's
then
my-
caught the next guy and Canadian
my-
destroyed him.
Oh, I thought he took it. I was like, that's how
No,
does that work?
he delivered it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But as far as
here's my-
PPW
here's
goes,
my
who's
gear.
one of your favorites to watch? Like, knowing they're there, whose match do you want to watch?
Other than your own.
Evander James, I need to face him. I've only wrestled him one time a few years ago, and we were both still figuring out our shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening, Mr. Trust, let's do this here.
That'd be a good match. That'd be a really good match.
Yeah, just to give the full match from Sunday, it was Foxx teaming with Adina Steele, Antonio Rivera, and Garrett Holiday, and they beat Johnny Moran, Christine Marie, Isaac Roll, and Ricky Martinez.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Garrett was on my team. My bad.
And you
So-
got to wrestle with Adina again on the team. So you're 2 for 2 with
She's
her.
always on my coattail.
Yeah.
It's right on your fame.
Yeah, I won. She just raised her hand.
She did her little logo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did it to her. I did it one time, and I think I did it wrong. But before we let you go here, what are some things you want to plug and get out there where people can come see you next?
Well, if anybody is around the Pittsfield, Massachusetts area this Saturday for Truly Independent Wrestling, I will be there.
Awesome.
And then the following week, Immortal Championship Wrestling right in Schenectady, New York. I will be there. And if you go there, there's a casino too. So if you like wrestling, just walk next door to the casino when you're done.
Well, I truly, truly appreciate you calling in and getting to talk to us a little bit. Next time the PPW is coming around, if you want to call in again, you're more than welcome. That door's always open. We look forward to seeing
On
you
the
every time.
21st.
I was going to
Yep.
say the 21st.
December. We always look forward to seeing you. You're very entertaining, and we'll catch up next time you're there.
Don't forget to follow me on the gram at Fox Vinyer, on the Twitcher machine at Fox Vinyer. If you play GTA 5 on Fox Vinyer, I give you my snap, but I don't care about any of you people. Sandwiches or
I just
radio.
did Fox a solid here, and I just put out a little feeler tweet, and Evander James might be getting back to us very soon.
All right, we'll keep updated on that, and we'll definitely put on the because Vander's very big on Instagram, so maybe we'll say today on the show he called in and he wants
you out, man.
he wants Evander James at PPW. Maybe we'll make it happen.
I want to wrestle him because he's amazing.
He is.
And
He just
want
did his
to be
Japan tour.
Amazing as well. Exactly. And I want people to be like, oh shit, Boston hang with Evander? Yeah. And anyone else in the business that people like to say in every promo. You see the business here, brother.
But I have to say, Fox is very colorful, very bright. You can't miss him. But somebody else in there, how do you feel about Facade?
Yeah, well, he's okay.
All right, well, thank you so much, man. We'll see you next time.
Hey, bye.
See you later, man. All right.
Oh my God, we got dead air here. We can't have dead air. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was fun. It was a good time.
So,
yeah, you just see him locally.
As
PPW is December 21st at the Holy Family Academy in Hazleton.
And as much personality as Foxx puts through over the phone, it's 10 times that when you see him in action.
100%.
Out there, he's vibrant. He's indelible.
Like I said, he's a big dude. He's
He's
probably about 6'2", 6'3".
He's all right. So if you see he's not someone that's very easy to go up to and have a conversation with because he has a very intimidating look.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and then when I seen him at the show, I was like, "Is that him?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
like
he has the glasses.
Yeah, he wears glasses,
and you're not sure.
And he wears the hood up.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not going to risk it. I didn't know if it was him or not. Let me try to find the bosses here now.
Especially when you see someone that always wears face paint. When you don't have, it's different. You know?
Yeah, and I kind of think like when someone does the mask or face paint, they do it to kind of maybe have a little bit more of that privacy. I don't think he's that type.
Yeah,
is that so much to ask? I mean, one more time, just hit that move. I mean, it's been so long since he's done it.
The people that wear masks is like how
we're gonna skip the news. We're gonna bypass the news here, and we're gonna go to the PPW Impact show, and we're gonna turn this down real quick just so I can.
Please enjoy this Verizon ringback.
Especially because he's a ringback tone.
Oh, Paul. Both
I forget what
I'm kind of curious what it is.
I forget what the move was.
All right, just classical music.
That might be in the public domain.
Schoolboy to finish the match.
No, I forget what that move is.
Oh, it's it kind of looks like a Spanish fly, but he does it lands almost sideways like a crossbody.
Yeah, it's like a one-man Spanish fly.
He might not be able to do that one.
I mean, he looked pretty good in the match on Wednesday night. I mean,
try not to get that music in there. Keep talking. You're good.
Yeah,
all right,
but I'd love to see.
Keep going.
Yeah.
If anybody wonders what we're talking about right now, I put out a tweet while I was watching AEW after I got home from work today, and I said about how the main event was showing styles in wrestling and how they've changed over the years between the different sets between SCU and then you got a Sammy Guevara and a Chris Jericho. But I've been following Frankie Kazarian Daniels since they've been in Impact TNA in the beginning. And one of the moves I absolutely loved that Frankie Kazarian did was the flux capacitor. And it's just one of those moves that he's going to the top rope, damn well it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Going back almost 20 years, I was a chat room regular in on a internet radio show, and they would take questions from the chat room a lot and just comments and stuff. And this was right after Frankie Kazarian worked the Super 8 in Delaware, which is this old tournament these
ECWA.
Jim Kettner, back in the day. And they had him on, and they were giving away. They used to have this Steve Austin action figure, and you would plug it into your computer, and it would load in new phrases for Steve Austin to say. And I make Frankie Kazarian crack up because I said if you fed it beer, it would beat up the Deborah doll.
That's pretty good.
Wow. It's controversial.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We have 2 minutes here before our next call in.
All right.
We'll do a couple news things here.
Okay.
So local, not so much local, but some. I know there's I don't know exactly the name of the promotion, but or if I'm 100% accurate on this, I know Saturday night there's supposed to be a show in Mount Carmel.
That's PCWA.
Oh, PCWA, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Greg Berezovsky, GI Bears promotion. He's been running for a little over 10, 12 years.
That's why I
now.
wrestled Gilbert at the last one. I think this one starts early. It's his birthday party or something.
Yeah, I won't.
3?
I was gonna go to that one, but I'm gonna go see. There's a few bands I'm really big fans of that are playing at the Port, so I'm gonna go to that Saturday night.
Saturday night for us is the birthday party for Suicide Myers.
Okay. And then House of Glory is obviously doing their show. A lot of good guys. Leroy Green, I believe a lot. I think the things that the people who were billed on the show has now probably doubled because I think a lot of people are going to come out for the support of Matt Travis.
Didn't somebody say Kurt Angle's supposed to be?
Kurt Angle will be there. Yes,
and Enzo.
And Enzo, yes,
and the Rock and Roll Express,
and the Rock and Roll Express. That's right.
But not the question mark.
No,
so, are you going to take your picture and maybe try and get them to sign it if you end up going?
What do you mean?
Get them to actually sign it?
No, I'm not going to House of Glory on Saturday. I'm going to see a band.
It's a far haul for us.
And I'm not.
It's about 2.5 hours?
Yeah, but I'm not familiar in how to navigate through cities.
Because it's not Manhattan. It's over in Brooklyn, Queens. So that's actually past Brooklyn. So it's a haul.
It's one of those boroughs.
It's one of those things that I have to be mentally prepared for.
Yeah. It's not like, hey, we're gonna go to Reading.
Exactly. Exactly. So then the other.
I got your back. When you're ready to do that, I will be your Sherpa.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have to wear the coat.
Then we're gonna go. This Friday night. So tomorrow night will be our buddy Andy will be in action, right?
No, I'm not on this show. I was just
You just shared
talking
it?
about- yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so-
on the next one, which will be the 23rd.
All right, so True Wrestling. I know Tony Deppen will be on that show.
Yeah, it's wrestling Chris Statlander.
Yep. So
Well, I
there's
heard she got signed, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Or maybe she is, and that she's finishing out her last couple dates. I don't know.
well, if she got signed, it'd be a good person for Tony Deppen to go out there and get some work. in
Yeah.
with. Yeah, because that dude should get looked at.
Just to run through that show in Mount Carmel, they have 4 announced matches, it looks like. Rob Cook and G.I. Bear in a U.S. title match. Ava Everett against Davian. Kimberly Spirit against Autumn Breeze in a Diamond Championship match. That's what they call their women's
Yeah.
division. And
like
for
it.
the tag team titles, Born to Wrestle against the Ring Crew Warriors.
And also, Sean Carr versus Dave Smith versus Justin Furious for winner gets a title shot, the U.S. title.
At that Mount Carmel
yes,
show.
yes.
Oh, and here we go. You have Malcolm King against former ECW wrestler H.C. Lowe.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if there's anything else here.
While you're pulling that up, hey, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, buddy, we're just doing some quick local wrestling shows in the area.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So going back to that, I don't think G.I. Bear's lost that U.S. title in like 10 years either.
It's like Mola with her women's
Actually,
title.
I think Rob has it now. Rob, the former IB Green.
So real quick, I didn't know he was wrestling on this show, but Andy grabbed this for me over the weekend. This is Dame's new shirt.
I didn't wear it because I thought you were going to wear it.
Yeah,
so-
I was gonna wear it tonight for the show, but I'm wearing my Ace Austin 316 shirt.
yeah.
Where did you get that
We
shirt,
cannot
Tony?
read the back of the shirt.
It
Yeah,
says
we
I just
can.
banged your wife.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
And where I got that shirt is where our next guest on the phone is we're gonna kind of
There's a
talk
segue.
about the card and also have him come in because he had a pretty big deal with it.
Why don't you give him an introduction?
So we have on the phone.
Try
the
not
voice,
to get his name wrong
Yes.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely won't get this
I
one wrong.
figured, yeah.
It's only a few syllables. He's got this
Yeah,
one.
so I call him the mayor Hazelton, the voice of PPW.
Call him the Mean Gene of Northeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Mean Gene of Northeast Pennsylvania. Paul Bow on the phone. Thank you so much for calling in, Paul.
Hey, what's up, guys? Is that Andy I hear in the
Yes.
background?
That
It
is
is.
Andy. Yep.
Yes, it is.
Andy, I heard you say that G.I. Bear has not lost his title in 10 years.
No, that was
Dave.
David.
That was me. That was me.
Oh, okay. But I do believe he did lose last show because I was there. He split his pants open. I believe
You know,
I believe they brought it home at that point.
Yeah.
The sad part about that story is I have one too, except it was when he and I were playing on the Schuylkill County Coal Crackers together, and he went to make a tackle and ended up splitting his football pants about halfway through the game.
So this is a career move for him.
Yes.
He's like SpongeBob. Have you ever had an incident like that, Paul, where maybe you had a wardrobe malfunction getting in and out of the ring?
I would hope not.
Well, yeah. We've had a couple malfunctions, but they weren't necessarily wardrobe. But the PCWA show is Saturday, I believe, at 2:00. I was summoned to football duty Saturday, so I'm not going to be at that show. I will be at True tomorrow night. I was supposed to be doing the PCWA show too, but TV calls, and when TV calls, Bobo got to go do football.
Hey, that's where the money is.
Hey, and you're good at what you do, brother.
You guys said it, so absolutely.
You're good at what you do.
I told Bear to dig in his pockets. If he could dig a little deeper, I would tell him I couldn't do the football game, but he got allocated.
So yeah, this over the weekend, last weekend, we had a cool little collaboration happen in Hazleton, where we had the return of Impact Wrestling at the Holy Academy,
Holy Family.
Holy Family Academy, and then also at the Steamtown Mall in
Yes.
Scranton. So
One
we
of
had a
the most
Saturday
Steamtown.
and a Sunday show. We didn't get a chance to see the Sunday shows. We were at the Saturday shows, and we were already talking earlier. The PP, Impact made me a fan. We'll go through each card here and kind of talk a little bit about it. But Impact has made me a fan. I'm now subscribed to Impact Plus. I love it. I had a blast. But
You just wanted to find yourself on camera.
Yeah.
no. I really like like I said, like this whole show. I've been a WWE mark my entire life, and I'm trying to branch out and find more people. I legit from never watching an Impact show. I immediately
Did you never watch TNA either?
never
Wow.
never watched TNA, never watched Impact.
TNA was on at like 10 o'clock at nights
Yeah.
on random channels.
When it was hot. I'm
Now-
talking
now
like
he's watching
2000,
the
2005 to 2010.
Now
Yeah.
he's watching the old weekly pay-per-views with Puppet the Psycho Dwarf.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But no, for never watching it on a weekly basis, I was able to go to a live show and immediately feel like I was caught up with the storylines and know exactly what was happening.
But you were also familiar with some of them through Lucha Underground as well.
Not so much what the storylines are doing right now.
Well, correct. But
Yeah,
you were
but
familiar with the
character-wise.
wrestlers.
But character-wise, they already hooked me on characters. I think and this is not a bash, this is not saying I don't like AEW, but Impact in one night hooked me on at least 2 characters or 3 characters that has taken me 5 weeks of AEW to finally find that one guy, like, I like this person, this is the guy I'm going to attach myself to. So I think Impact had a really good thing, and I think Impact's women division is light years better than AEW's. Light years better.
Most of them have been there working a lot longer than people actually think. Madison Rain's been there at least 10 years now.
Oh, yeah, she's a long time.
She left for a while. She was in ROH for a hot minute.
Yeah, and then Ty has been there for a little over 2.5 years, so she's been working really hard there. A lot of the main Impact women that have been there have moved on to either MLW or are currently in NXT, which is crazy to think.
Yeah,
Our beautiful people. They went to ROH.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
and it doesn't help. It doesn't take away the fact that women's divisions not only super attractive, but they are very, very talented in the ring as well. That definitely does help. It's like they're as beautiful as a girl in the Attitude Era that would just be there for models, but actually can wrestle.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So, Paul, when it comes to Impact, how did this partnership start? We all were at the show last year, and it was a great show again this year, another great show. How does this keep happening for PPW?
That show was my intro to PPW as well. That was my first time in PPW, was that last Impact show.
The way it actually started, I mean, one of my partners, Tony, actually reached out to, I believe it was 2 years ago. They reached out to us about doing a joint show through a mutual friend, and Tony kind of set it up last year. And in turn, now Impact is called. This is a lot of people don't even realize we've had 4 shows scheduled. I know I told Andy about this. We were talking about it. We've had 4 shows scheduled with them that have been canceled up until this one. I mean, they kept reaching out, trying to get dates, and we locked a date, and then Josh would call Tony, and it would get changed again because Impact was moving here, and so I wasn't even too sure this was going to happen. And I mean, they've reached out to us every time, and it's a lot of work. I mean, we work 17-hour days Saturday and Sunday, and it was tough. And like I said, Tony set it up. You know what I mean? My partners, Scott, he handled he handles all the production for PPW through the high voltage show we do. So he did a lot with the Impact show too on our end, for our stuff, trying to coordinate filming it and have camera guys there so we could catch our action. But it's a lot of work. It all came together. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm happy it's over with because I had a really, really personally a rough weekend. I did football Friday, Saturday I did wrestling, Sunday I did wrestling, Monday I passed out. I mean, it was,
that's why we had Foxx on first. Paul just woke up like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, he was hibernating.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the way it was mostly initiated by them. They like our building.
I think it's a great building.
We've said the same thing over and over about that building. It's the perfect venue to have a small show like that, but it's just big enough to make the show look huge.
And back in the day, I mean, back in the 80s, WWF used to run there. I mean, they used to run house shows there.
I know that.
I remember going there when I was young with my dad and my brothers, and we would go, and WWF ran there, and it was, the Scranton CYC. That was the kind of bread and butter of territory wrestling, basically.
Yeah.
ECW ran there a couple of years, and they ended up getting thrown out of the building.
I was going to say, they probably got kicked out.
Yeah.
They did get kicked out. They actually did get kicked out.
Wow.
They only ran there once or twice, and this is years. I didn't even go to the show. This is years ago. But a lot of the wrestlers that we bring in, when we bring in the names, they'll say, hey, I remember this place. I think I worked here before when I was with WWF or whatever. And, it comes back to them. Oh, yeah, we did run here. But that's the way the shows went down. Like I said, we didn't know. A lot of stuff was up in the air until, the week of the show. We really didn't know how many matches we were getting. We didn't know what was going on with a lot of stuff. But, I mean, in the end, it all came up together, and we put together a really good show. I mean, they're really great to work with, Impact. Like I said, Josh, I worked, close with Josh the whole weekend. Like I said, they were pretty easy to deal with. once we got everybody together in the same room. It's hard through email. It's hard on phone calls.
Yeah, and stuff can get misconstrued.
And that's Josh Matthews, by the way.
Josh Matthews, yeah.
Yeah, Josh Matthews, yeah.
He came out. He came out with his laptop watching the Alabama LSU game, and we start chanting LSU at him.
Yeah. It's just, even on my end of it, like, just what I had to do Saturday was a lot more than I usually do, because it's usually, hey, where's Scott, or where's Tony, or where's Ryan, or where's whoever, you know what I mean, Alex, or whatever. Saturday, they were looking. I was the person they were looking for everything. So it kind of.
Paul was at the front door. Paul was at the merch table. Paul was at the VIP table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul was working.
It was kind of tough, but like I said, it all came together. It was a great show. I'm so proud of our PPW roster. I mean, they absolutely killed it. Our 6-way heavyweight match was probably one of the best matches we ever had. I mean, those guys, they let it all out, and you couldn't ask for a better guy to agent to match. Was D'Lo Brown?
Yeah,
he was
consensus for that match. We all declared that match of the night.
Yeah,
and D'Lo agented that match, and he agented the match Sunday. It was a 5-way Sunday, and he did the same thing Sunday, and it was both of them were just fantastic, as were all our matches.
Yeah, he was on the headset a lot that night. We were watching him.
That's cool, because he could just be like, nah.
There was a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that I definitely want to get into when I talk about this. But before we get into anything, Paul, I have two things I want to bring up. One, I have a $1 million idea for your company, for PPW.
Sure, hit me up with it.
Instead of T-shirts for the next show, if you for the general admission, the only problem with that building is those bleachers hurt after a while. If you sold those little make PPW bleacher cushions, you will make a killing. Because it only take one person to ever sit in those bleachers for an entire show, and if they walk in, they're like, "Hey, these are $10 bleacher cushions. I'll buy one 100%."
Well, I'll tell you what, my kids both went to school there, and one still does go to school there. And I sat in those bleachers to watch basketball games, and I definitely can tell you, these things suck. They're from the 1950s when the school was built.
Yeah,
it's a piece of wood. That's all it is.
It doesn't even. It doesn't feel like normal wood.
Yeah, that's by the years of being painted. And
it feels like it's doing bad things to your
like
backside.
A piece of metal.
Yeah,
well, there's no back support, and you're like, argh.
Yeah, like if you just PPW bleacher seats, and you'll make a killing.
You'll be dying for a folding chair.
Yeah.
I'm a marketing guy. I love marketing stuff. I love merch. I'm always looking to come out with different ideas, just like those trading cards. I told Andy I've been working on it for 2 months. We sold every single set we printed.
That's awesome. In basically 2 shows.
Yeah.
The one show we had the cards. We had the cards for one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were at the Sunday show, right?
Yeah,
Saturday show.
I don't know.
I didn't even have any Sunday. I sold them Saturday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I guess either you or Frank said more being printed. So that's awesome.
Good. I'll definitely pick up a set. I didn't know they were there.
$20 for the full set.
It's not bad.
How many cards are in it?
$20.
50,
the Andy Header card comes autographed.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it?
No, I get autograph it. How many cards are in the whole set?
40.
40. Wow. So there you go. 50 cents a card.
You have everyone in the card set, from Dr. Frank to Frank Boris to myself to everybody who wrestled for us within the last probably 2 years is in that.
Which one's the wild card?
Every regular.
Every regular.
But you, and then the last thing I want to bring up before we get into this card is just like how he was saying, everyone who's behind the scenes, Dr. Frank.
Did you ever meet Dr. Frank?
I never talked to him.
Character.
Yeah,
you got to talk to Dr. Frank. If you have not had a conversation with Dr. Frank, you don't know Dr. Frank.
He doesn't look like he would be a doctor.
He looks like he just came off Led Zeppelin's tour. Tour bus,
like a roadie.
Yeah. But Frank Boris, one of the best photographers in the game, and super, super nice, personable dude. Love him to death. All the people who are behind the scenes at PPW, the people who are setting up the meet and greets, setting up the chairs, setting up the ring, all the prospects who are working as wrestlers and then also help breaking up and setting down. All around, you guys did an amazing job on Saturday and Sunday, and I just definitely want to commend you guys for your hard work, and you guys put on an amazing, amazing show.
Thank you. And like I said, that goes to, like I said, a lot of people don't realize there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
Myself, Tony McKeegan, Ryan Boyle, Scott Fineout, Alex Watt. They're all part of it. We're all together. We're all a team. Everybody has their own little niche, what they handle. Some people bite off more than they can chew, like myself, all the time. And, I mean, like I said, Tony puts the card together. Ryan runs social media. Scott and Mitch France, they handle the website. Scott handles all the production. Alex does our commercials. Like, everybody has their own little thing. And then we have a great, setup crew. Even some of the wrestlers, some of the students, like they'll help with ring crew, Justin, and you know what I mean, guys like that. I mean, Johnny Moran absolutely killed himself this weekend. Who didn't have? I mean, he drove here after the Scranton show to help put the ring away, and then back to Scranton.
Wow, yeah, that's a good guy.
You know what I mean?
That Mitch does a fantastic job with the website, man.
Yeah,
and that Scott designed it. Mitch updates it.
Yeah, he's really
and
good.
Our TV show, the High Voltage show, and that was my baby from the beginning. I just don't have the technical abilities that those guys did. And Scott took it over when he came here a few years ago, and he has done a phenomenal job. Our YouTube subscribers went from 800 to 1,900 subscribed in a year.
That's awesome.
And we have GoPro that comes in. He set it up with GoPro, and they do all the editing, and they make our show look. We want it to look as close to as an Impact show or a WWE show, as you can. And I think, the talent we have, I'll put up against anybody's roster. And the production and the work ethic, it's everything. And I appreciate when people say we did a good job, because that means so much, because I know how much goes into it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the talent, we did just have the firework on, and he was very adamant he would like to step in with Mr. Evander James.
Yeah, we asked him.
I know. I just got a text message from him before. I got a text message.
I want to wrestle.
He says, "Is it too early to find out what I'm doing yet?" He said, "Fox, I don't even want to talk about wrestling after this week." And he says, "Me versus Evander, that's printing money." I said, I got to call these guys back to the podcast.
I mean, I even put it out there on Twitter just to try and reach out to Evander about it, and he seems very adamant he would like a match with Evander James.
I'd watch it. It's a good one. Here's one thing I was watching at the last High Voltage one you guys just put out, and it's something I think maybe you should think about bringing back. So I thought it was a good idea. The banners that go around those ringside. Like that were like kind of on the
ring skirt?
The ring? No. They were on like the one match you were on. It was like a PPW banner and like local business banners.
Oh, okay. Like
and they were on the guardrails. Yeah. I thought that was a cool idea. I don't remember ever seeing that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what happened. We bought new guardrails about a year ago. Okay, and they don't have the straight up and down spokes in them. They're just the guardrails now.
Yeah.
So what was happening was the kids that sit in the front row were ripping the banners. Those banners. $50 each. So we still hang them, but we hang them from the rafters.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, last show we couldn't do it because Impact didn't want us to hang any, but we'll hang them up over that overhang. So if you're looking at the ring straight ahead, on the hard cam, the other side, opposite from the hard cam, you'll be able to see them straight ahead.
That's cool.
That's the reason we took them off the ring, because the kids were ripping them.
What does it cost to get a banner up?
I think we charged. The banner cost us like $50 to make, and we did it $50 a show to advertise. And then whoever, the businesses that bought it, we gave them 2 free tickets every show.
Oh, wow.
So they could either raffle them off or do whatever they want.
Yeah. Plus, then when it's on TV on WYLH,
right?
Maybe we'll work on a tornado tag banner up there.
Yeah, there are things.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Advertisement.
Yeah. So all right, Brian, you got the first match of the card here.
First match of the night on the Saturday show was for the PPW Tag Team Championship.
Ooh, this match was
non-stop. Impact used to be TNA, total non-stop action. That was this match. It was main event over the Sambo show.
Yeah, it was. They came out shot out of a pistol.
Cool.
It was a very quick match because I obviously with
time constraints,
and they made every second count.
Good
for a 7-minute match on what was technically the pre-show. I couldn't ask for a better match right off the rip like that.
They went out. The Sambo show and main event went out and showed exactly why. We've been saying here on this podcast that PPW Entertainment has the best tag team division in the area, and it showed exactly why when those two teams stepped in the ring. They had 7 minutes to work, and it seemed like they worked for 45 minutes, and it was nonstop.
But not
action.
the bad. It felt like 45 minutes.
It was so entertaining. They hit all their spots. They had to be exhausted afterwards because they were nonstop out of a gun for those 7 minutes. They didn't stop for a second.
A good opening match.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. 2 weeks prior, they met up in Homesdale. It's almost like the Heidi game that no one saw.
Yeah.
Because there was a very late crowd there. But they wrestled each other that night at the Homesdale show, and I did not see the match. I was in the back taking care of other things. I had somebody else on commentary, but they said it was fantastic. So I knew it would be good again.
Yeah, both those teams are very, very big favorites of mine. I love both those teams very much. Very good, very good guys behind the curtain, and just great great workers, and just that match that you couldn't have started that show off a better way.
No, and another key is too, like you said, outside of the ring, very easy to deal with, and that means a ton in the wrestling business. A ton,
especially when you're a promoter.
Yeah,
and again, just to reiterate, our hearts go out to the main event too. Like that night was obviously a really tough night for them, and
lost a friend. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool little thing if you're a regular PPW that I think a lot of people were really fun to see is you got to see the wolf versus the lion in a little growl and howl off.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
And Jay Lion lost his tongue.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Better than losing his mask.
And then what we had next?
The next, it was a 6-person tag match. I may get one wrong here, and I think the website might be a little off. South Philly's Finest and Mantequilla teamed up to beat Johnny Moran, Christina Marie. It says Isaac Girl on the website, but I believe it was Rembrandt that was on
Rembrandt, yes. Yeah. Very good match.
It was Isaac Rule was on Sunday, right? I will get that corrected. Mitch getting yelled at right now as we speak.
Yep. Mantequilla, man. Another one. He's only been there a couple weeks, right? Like a few shows.
Another House of Glory guy.
Do you remember when I wrestled him?
Yep. Yeah. It was a great match.
I'm pretty sure we had the "Butter's gonna kill you" chant going.
Yeah, we had another Butter chant going. Butter, but he's awesome. He's so much fun to watch.
Then South Philly's Finest is probably the most over team up there.
Yep. Yeah. Christina Marie does great what she does. She took a spot. What's her name? Super kicked the hell out of her. From South Philly's Finest, Jimmy.
Yeah,
laid her super kick on her. It was awesome. Yeah, it was a good match. Very entertaining. It was to follow that tag team match with another tag.
Yeah,
which was very quick, very short to the point. Again,
great.
But
once again,
it hit the mark.
PPW, a little different. I mean, 6-man tag.
PPW different. Killed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The PPW matches were right there, neck and neck, if not better than some of the Impact matches. So. Definitely, like the big leagues came in, and
like I said,
PPW
like, PPW people are, like trying to impress people, like make a statement, whereas Impact's kind of like, they're doing a house show, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing against it, but I mean,
here's the thing too, that goes a lot, I guess you could say, behind the curtain for PPW. It didn't appear like, hey, everyone knew the stakes were high. Everyone knew who the eyes were in the building, and that this is the night that you need to go out and do stuff.
So don't go phone it in.
But no one phoned it in, and no one tried to outshine someone else in the ring and just say, like, look at me, look at me. Everyone did exactly what they're supposed to do. They all hit their marks. They all made sure each person got over. Each person got their time in the match to show what they had to do.
Yeah.
Nobody went over harder than nobody else. It was done absolutely perfect.
Every match had a purpose, and every match told a story.
Yes. Quick behind the scenes with this that I want to kind of talk about, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, but the before everything started, there was the autograph signing. And it was awesome because all the PPW stars were kind of teamed up with the Impact stars. And it was fun to see from the bleachers, just kind of watching everyone going around, and like somebody would stop and get an autograph from like Tessa and be like, "Oh, Antonio," or "Hey, Adina," and they were getting just as much love as the Impact people, which I think was awesome. And then all the Impact people left. For the most part, everything was packed up. The very first guy to get it to his table and the very last guy to leave his table was Ace Austin.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
He stayed there as long as he possibly could to make sure everyone had an opportunity, because he was happy to be back and and be home. I mean, I know he's not built from this area, but this is where he started.
As was Fallah Bah. I mean, Fallah Bah liked the picture I took with him on Facebook, and I never would have thought that in a million years. But Fallah Bah hung in there the whole time as well.
Yep, Fallah Bah is just one of those guys that we talk about who you remember after the night's over. Super awesome.
He looks great. Like, he's trimmed down. He's starting to look amazing.
Yep. And most of the show, I don't know if you noticed this or not, Paul, but Brian Cage stood next to entrance ramp and watched almost the entire card. Very intently. He was definitely into what was going on. That's the kind of stuff I watch. That small stuff, like who's paying attention.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
who was standing there next to him for a little bit? Somebody else was there.
The guy who wrestled some terrible names, but the guy who wrestled Mark Orlando, Elgin was there for a while with him. Yep.
And D'Lo was just constantly right up there.
Yeah, D'Lo was up like in gorilla, I guess you would call it, watching the whole thing. Had the headset on, phone and everything in.
Yeah, he could have just sat there and did whatever.
Yeah,
looked at his phone.
Yeah, well,
locked on the whole time.
Yep.
I'll tell you what. I talked to Anthony off the record the other day, and I don't want to jinx anybody here, but he knows what I'm talking about. D'Lo was very impressed with about 6 of our wrestlers.
Yeah,
that's
very impressed. So I don't want to say anything that I jinxed them or anything like that. But I would not be surprised if they're contacted again to work something with Impact.
Yeah.
We kind of have an idea of who
hold
one
on,
of them might be.
Before you get in there, I'm just going to say, we were going to do a segment where we were going to say, like, if you, because we always do that, like, we always try to put over and say, you know, who would be, like, if you were, like, we always ask people, like, who would you sign if you had 5 contracts to go anywhere? And we all kind of had in our private chat, who do you think would be the 5 guys who would get picked up? And the names you said were exactly what we were saying. Exactly what we were saying. Yep.
And D'Lo was there before one time. It was a 6-man with South Philly's finest. I forget who they wrestled.
Yeah.
That's how
Did you wrestle him, Andy, or no? Weren't you in the tag?
No, not with D'Lo. No, it was Bob Holly and Hernandez.
Yeah, you did Bob Holly, and you did Tessa, and you did Bill.
Kidney stones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see that. I always heard his Andy Header got chopped all over the place and loved it.
Me and Bob Holly.
Yeah.
Hey, he let me beat him up too for a little bit. I was like, wow, Bob Holly, give me stuff here.
I'll tell you what though. Here's the thing that I was kind of noticing too behind the curtain, and it only when she was not on camera. When she was on camera, she stopped it immediately. But when she was walking around the building, she had a little bit of a limp to her. Tessa.
Yeah, I don't know if she's hurt or not.
She had a little bit of a limp to her when she was walking, but when she was in the ring, when at the very end when she hit the stunner on Callahan, she kind of looked like she rolled her ankle a little bit in her heel, but she had a little bit of looked like something was with her hip or her leg. But when the camera was on her, you would never ever tell it.
How about no T-shirts for the top star? Come on.
Yeah,
now.
she had no T-shirts. No T-shirts for Tessa, which was I was supposed to get Andy one that night, and they didn't have any for me to get for him. She had no shirt.
Yeah. And if you really look at PPW, there really is no behind the scenes, no off limits, because a lot of their characters or performers are out front selling their merch. It's not somebody else sitting there selling it for them. They're physically going
unless
out there.
They're a heel.
Yeah,
Some of the heels, they have someone running their table.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have them out there. They're selling their merch. They're meeting everybody who comes in the door. And you see 50, 60 people just waiting in that line right there against the bleachers where the merch goes.
Yep.
And they're just contently having a conversation with their fans like it's no big deal.
Yeah. So what do we got next here, Brian?
You have the beginning of the Impact Plus show at the beginning of Turning Point proper, and it's a tag team match where Tessa Blanchard teamed up with Jordan Grace, and they beat Havoc, who I believe was subbing for Kiera Hogan.
Correct.
And Madison Rain.
Jessica Havoc?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good match. Now, I have one little behind...
the locker room leader, Madison
The locker room
Yeah,
leader.
so I have one question about this match, Paul, and this is one for you.
Oh boy.
Who was Tessa's partner? What's her name?
Jordan Grace.
Jordan.
Yeah, her name was Jordan Grace, and let's address that now. So
Because she kind of gave you a little bit in the ring.
Well, here's what happened. I won't throw anybody under the bus. I'm gonna take full responsibility for it. Okay, I'm gonna man up and take responsibility. And I did apologize to her.
Yes, I would have too. She's about. I would have rather take the beating from Devon than I think her.
They don't call her Little Mama Pump for nothing.
My card was incorrectly written that said Jordy and Grace, and that's what I entered her as. But you know what? Mistakes happen, and I apologize. And I was mad about it. I took total responsibility. Didn't throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah.
And, things happen, and she was not happy. I can say that. She got in the ring, and we're good though.
We saw the tongue lashing.
At least it was kind of close. I mean,
at
least he didn't call
Rebecca Chambers
Vox Vinyl.
Yeah, I said Vox. I'm thinking Ryan Vox for some reason. So when I introduced him in the show, I called him Vox Vinyl or something. It was horrible. I butchered it. So I feel your pain. But she came in the ring and she kind of like. She did not look. First off, sometimes the mic cuts out, so I couldn't hear the full intro. But then she got in the ring and she kind of like was saying stuff to you, and Tessa just gave this face like, "Whoa!" Right? And her eyes got big as she started laughing. I was like, "I think Paul's getting chewed out."
No, she said. Honestly, what she said to me is, she said, "You know, that's not my name."
Yeah.
And I just said to her, "What isn't?" I didn't even realize what I said.
Yeah.
It's Jordy Ann, and I said, "Oh, they say that?" And yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, I literally." Just read off the card. That was my fault. Like I said, I apologize. Her.
Somebody's getting a doc pay next week.
I talked to her Sunday, and she's like, "Oh, everything's good. Don't worry about it." I said, "Well, I apologize. Things happen. We're all human." And,
yeah.
Especially if you're not familiar with the person.
I mean, like her name is spelled Jordy, Lyn. It's not far fetched.
Yep, 100%.
Jordan. On my card on Sunday, I made sure it was written like Michael Jordan.
Jordan.
Yep.
And Josh Matthews had a little fun with me too on the pre-show. I got to do commentary with Josh, and he goes,
That's
"Just
cool.
remember, Paul, Jordan, like Michael Jordan Grace."
Yep. Yes. So that was the first introduction to me. So I'm someone who was very, very not against, but I wasn't the biggest fan of female wrestling for a long time, and I think that was justified because not all female wrestling was taken even seriously by companies.
Yeah.
And that obviously Tessa is someone who I've been excited to see wrestle for a very, very long time. I wanted to see the night that Andy wrestled her, but I didn't get a chance to make it that night. Obviously, her last name carries a lot of weight in the wrestling world, and she's someone who you want to see her against Charlotte. You there?
Yeah, Bear.
Oh, it was a little choppy on our end, but you're good now. But yeah, that's somebody you want to see against Charlotte. Like Tessa can there's literally a dream match in every promotion right now that Tessa can be against. Like she is the hottest, one of the hottest commodities in professional wrestling right now. As soon as her contract's done, man, there's a bidding war for her.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not saying she's going to leave Impact because I think she has a nice niche there. But man, they're going to have to work with her to keep her there because
as of right now, her contract's up. She's just freelancing with them, from my understanding.
I think she's going to win that world title. That's why.
I think.
I think that's why she's hanging on, because she's going to beat Callahan.
Yeah. But she came out, and then that introduction for that match was just awesome to watch. It was fun. Madison Rayne did her thing as kind of playing a little bit of like the chicken shit heel a little bit, and then tagging in and out and just trying to get up the person when they're beat up. It was a good match. Like it was entertaining. I liked it.
Yeah.
Jessica Havoc was being the beast that she always is, and then you get Jordan Grace, who's possibly one of the pound for pound strongest women in all of wrestling.
She's awesome.
She could throw Madison around because Madison's little.
She was.
I was shocked at how tiny Madison was.
I was shocked how actually short Tessa is.
Yeah.
When they put her on camera, she's larger than life.
Yeah.
You think she's 6 foot tall?
Well, I showed you the picture with me and her. I'm 6 foot, and she was barely at my shoulders.
Yeah, she's tiny.
About 5'6".
Yeah, she's short. Emma's
and I'll tell you guys something about Tessa too. I mean, you want to talk? What a sweet girl. I mean, such a nice. And we've had Tessa before.
Yep.
So easy to deal with,
which is good to hear because I know a lot of the kayfabe websites say she gets a bad rap of saying she's tough to work with.
Me, so I was like, I have nothing bad to say with her.
Well, of course not. She dropped you on your head.
Yeah.
And so was Madison Rayne. We've had Madison Rayne before a few times. Super to deal with. Easy to deal with. Nice girl. Nice girl.
Absolutely. What do we got next here, Brian?
Next is the PPW Heavyweight Championship match, where Clutch Adams successfully defended in a six-man scramble over Deshaun Pratt, Facade, Charles Mason, Casey Navarro, and Evander James.
I'd like to say that Clutch Adams walked away luckily with his title after this match.
He stole it. He stole it from Facade. Facade had Deshaun Pratt dead to rights. And,
nice.
And here comes Clutch Adams to steal the win.
And very good to see Deshaun back after the injury. We had him on the show. He looked great out there. Looked amazing. He did a great job. The match was awesome. Very good match.
Deshaun looked really good in that match. We had Deshaun 2 weeks before up in the Holmesdale show. He wrestled Facade. He wrestled Facade 2 weeks prior up there, and I talked to him afterwards because he hurt his knee. It's his knee. That's the issue. He said, because I tore my ACL, so I know how he feels. And I said, "How's your knee?" And he said, I was a little scared a little bit out there, but I think it came off pretty good. He looked good. He looked good in the and he looked super on Saturday night because you couldn't even tell that he had an injury before.
Nope, not at all. He looked great.
The resilience in that guy is amazing. The horrible injury he had earlier in his career, and now this. Yep. So resilient.
Yeah, man, his story is unbelievable. If you haven't had a chance to hear that story, go check out a couple weeks ago. We had Deshaun on the show, and I mean, he went from breaking the internet, one of the first viral wrestling videos of all time, to
not even wanting to wrestle.
Not even wanting to wrestle because he had a car accident that pretty much was almost ended his career. And then he was revitalized, and he credits a lot of his revitalization and getting back in the ring and really trying to work hard after his second injury to PPW. He says that you guys made him love wrestling again, which is always great to hear as a promotion.
And a super guy. And Deshaun, just speaking of him, that's me and Tony yesterday, and he knows we're looking for girls. And he said to me, I got a girl here that I want you guys to contact. I'm going to have her contact you. Is that okay? I said, absolutely.
Yeah, we got to be with that women's division.
Yeah, he's always looking out for us, and another super guy to deal with, humble.
Mm-hmm.
You won't realize, nobody would realize the success that Deshaun had. Very humble.
Yep.
Humble. Unlike Clutch, very humble.
Now, if you want to look at that match in its entirety, one of the guys that wrestles larger than life in those matches, and we've seen him time and time again, is Casey Navarro. For his size, the guy just flies everywhere.
Yeah.
And one guy I was very impressed with, who was Charles Mason. Just the presentation, he did
a great job.
Just the
his first real big opportunity that on a show like that.
Well, Charles, like I said with him too. I mean, he's another House of Glory kid. He's their six-pack challenge champion there. Him and Montequila's their crown jewel champion. I mean, these guys have belts in other federations, and the days of putting the belt on the promoter is over.
Yeah.
Most of the people, well, some federations, but anyway, these guys earned it. These kids came up as students through Amazing Red and Brian there at House of Glory, and they came to us and, humble and just looking for a chance.
Yeah.
That's the story with the main event. Like, they weren't even on our shows.
Yep.
Well, they would come with Evander. Hey, can we get on if we need somebody? And that's how they got on.
And this isn't something that I'm not saying we have inside information or anything, but this is just all rumors and hearsay on the internet. But if it's true, man, it makes a lot of sense. AEW is looking for feeder programs, and that's pretty much what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to find that NXT where they can let guys get some work in, and then by the time they hit TV camera, because all they really have right now is AEW Dark, and that's not for trainees. That's for their next batch. A lot of the internet buzz is saying that their feeder program might be House of Glory, and if House of Glory and PPW are working together, and you're a local wrestling fan and you want to possibly see the next person who will be on AEW, there's a very high chance that they might come out of a House of Glory PPW show. So if you're one of those people that like to say, I seen them here first, that's a great another reason to go to a PPW show, because those guys he's naming are working for a company that is being eyed up by some big names.
The Bucks wrestled there.
Yeah, the Bucks wrestled there. You have
the Lucha Bros.
And I mean, PPW is no slouch itself when it comes to people that stepped in between those ropes that are now doing things. You had Sonny Kiss, you had Nyla Rose, AJ Styles has wrestled in a PPW arena. You had a lot of really cool stuff happen through that place.
Richard Holiday and a few others are working for MLW.
Yeah.
Brian Pillman.
Brian Pillman Jr. Oh my God, Brian Pillman Jr. He was so awesome the 2 times he was there.
He's a great kid. Yeah, he's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great kid though. No, I agree with you. And now that Master P is involved with House of Glory.
Cody Rhodes?
I know I told Andy knows this, but I worked for Master P doing basketball games for his company, Hoopers Only.
That's
I do
awesome.
their basketball games around here. And last year I went down to Atlanta to do the high school All-American game. He spares no expense. Like, it's first class. Like, he treats you like, I told those guys in House of Glory, if he put any kind of effort into that like he did with his basketball, you guys will be sitting pretty, because you're one of his own. And like I said, I mean, he really takes care of his own, and a super nice, humble guy. You know what I mean? I met him a few times, and really a good guy.
We're going to try to sell him on Andy for the new No Limit Soldiers.
Yeah, oh God, I want to know.
Andy loves rap music. I heard he wants to come out to Master P.
Oh my God.
Master P calls me a bull limit soldier. That's what he calls me.
That's pretty cool.
So what was our next match here?
The next match was Michael Elgin defeating Mike Orlando in definitely a change of pace. It was more methodical. 2 big guys coming in there, 2 bulls knocking heads.
Slowed down from what we've been used to for the first 4 matches.
Well, behind the curtain, speaking of coming off horrible injuries, Orlando did blow out his one knee, and then recently had just blown out his second knee.
Yeah.
So coming off a second major knee surgery, he's supposed to be out for almost a year, and he was back in 4 months and stepped in between those ropes.
You gotta watch out. That's what happened to Brian Pillman Sr., and then he shouldn't have came back, because he came back when his ankle got fused or whatever, and he was never the same. It kind of was worse. If he would have waited, he probably would have been all right. But
I think the match was good. I think Elgin was a good pick for that match, because you definitely had someone in who could take care of him.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, and I mean, even for coming off a knee injury, I thought he took some good bumps. I thought there was some really crazy stuff in the ring, stuff that I wouldn't have done coming off that knee injury as quick as he did. You can definitely tell he He had some mobility issues, but he still went out there and gave it his all. And it was a good match. Maybe a little longer than it should have been just because his condition. But Mike Orlando's also one of those guys, too, who he's not going to go out there and give you half-ass because he knows he's hurt. He still want to go out there and do 110% and give you everything that he can.
Well, I talked to Mike after the match. I talked to him before the match. Said, "How's your knee?" And he said, "Not good." Ooh. And he said, "I'm going to wrap it up. I'm giving it a shot. I'm only a couple months, 4 months removed from ACL surgery for patella tendon, whatever happened to him." And he looked okay. He looked pretty good. And he was, you can tell he had mobility issues.
Yep.
After the match, I said to him, "How does it feel?" He said, "Good." I said, "Are you?"
He's good because his adrenaline's kicked in.
I said to him, "You want to be on? Are you going to be on the card in Stratton tomorrow?" He goes, "Yeah, no." I'm going to just be happy with the one match. Come back hopefully December, January. I'll be back to start getting in the ring again. But no, he did well for what went through. I was worried about it.
Yep.
But like I said, Elgin was the perfect person to take care. And Mike said that. He was happy to be in the ring with him. He knew that he'd be safe, and he knew that, that it was going to be, everything was going to be good. It might have went a little too long. I agree there. It probably could have been 3 or 4 minutes shorter.
He did struggle a little bit with cardio towards the end there, but that's understandable because he's not he can't train. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely not like if you're a PPW guy and you've been seeing Mike for a long time and two-time champion there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you could definitely tell he was coming off an injury. But and that's not a knock to his performance. I mean, if anything, it shows his heart.
It's a compliment to his toughness, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Mike doesn't want to sit still. I mean, he wants to get out there, and that's the football player in him, the athlete. He wants to be the best he can be, and those injuries are ripping him apart.
Yeah.
And he blew one out, then he blew the other one out, and it's tough. And like I said, I know how it is that when you're hurt, you want to get out there, you want to do the things you can. And Mike's, he's a young kid. He'll get back, you know what I mean? He just got to take it easy and don't overcompensate and blow the other one out.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Andy said, you'll never be your same again if you don't take it easy. You have a whole career, but he's anxious, and we're happy to have him back.
Yep. And what a lot of these guys that are in the ring, guys and girls in the ring now, are thinking too, obviously in his mind state, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just thinking, you're at a point in time now where you could literally turn wrestling on every single day of the week on some type of media, and wrestling's on Monday through Sunday. Wrestling is on every single day. So, and everyone's getting snatched up. Everyone's being watched. These PPW shows can be big for somebody. So this is an opportunity for Mike, okay, I know my knee's hurting, but if I get out there and I get some TV camera time, this could be, this is the best. This is not the time to be hurt right now.
Yeah.
Ace Austin is a case in point right there with that backboard jump. Andy was at that show. All it takes is 1 10-second video to change your entire life.
Or, someone watches it and they just like you.
Yep, 100%. So I definitely see where he's coming from, and I can definitely see why he wanted to risk that and get in the ring, because the risk and reward right now is high.
And he drove here from Florida.
Oh my God,
3,000.
Oh my God.
3,000 miles.
1,200 miles.
Yeah, 1,200 miles.
Jeez.
Yeah, crazy.
That's about 15 hours.
And Allie wrestled Sunday, right?
Allie wrestled Sunday, but she was smart. She flew up here.
Yeah,
I don't blame her.
Did she drive back with him?
I don't know. I don't. I guess they might have. Yeah, they probably drove back together.
So what was our next match here?
Speaking of football players, Moose defeats Falaba in a very fun match.
I thought so too. I mean, two big guys like that, especially that superplex off the top.
I felt I was scared for the ring for a second there on that superplex.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us because we just replaced 5 boards.
I'll tell you what, that ring was moving a little bit. There was some spots where it looked like it was sinking in a little. That ring took a beating that night. But
yes.
Moose did this. So when you see a guy like Moose, right, from a wrestling fan,
6'6", 299.
yeah, you're like, all right, he's gonna go out there and play the big guy. He's gonna be the Kevin Nash. He's gonna do a side backdrop. He's gonna do an elbow. He's gonna bounce off the rope. Maybe just do the big boots, and then you're gonna get a big guy match out of him. Sidewalk slams. How Jim Cornette says, hair flip. But Moose doesn't have that luxury. But when he took that run into the corner, jumped pretty much 2-step up the top rope and then backflip off the top rope on the floor.
Yeah, that's impressive. I don't care who you are.
You had no idea it was coming. No idea. He showed his athleticism and showed, wow, this guy is something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, to go 1-2 and then complete 180 cross body and then get up and hit the next move like it's.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he got better because when he was in ROH,
not good.
Wasn't good.
Well, you could definitely tell he put his work in. And then Fallah Bahh, since the last time we seen him at the last Impact show, has lost even more weight.
I've never seen him wrestle.
Yeah, looks good. He's super entertaining. He's fun. He had those gimmicky spots where, you know what I mean? By the end of the match, the whole crowd's doing it. He has everyone by the seat of their seat. He has everyone into his thing.
They were doing it in other matches. That's how.
Yeah,
how
I was every single time someone would hit themselves in the head, I would do a bah just to be funny. But
and I think that's a testament to him because when they did the meet and greet, because a huge percentage of that crowd did the meet and greet. He's the only one out there in his ring gear.
Yeah, full ring gear.
Oh, wow.
He's doing it. He's in his ring gear. He's putting a hand up to his head with the fan posing too.
Oh, cool.
He went all out for everything. Anytime he was out in front of the people,
he fully embodies his character.
Until the very last second. Yep. He met every fan that came through.
I'm a huge fan of his. Since I've seen him twice now in Impact, and both times he's earned my complete respect.
Well,
I love that guy.
When I had my minute with him, I was telling him that was the first time I had seen him since the Samu benefit show that he worked down there in Allentown. And I said, I'm like, you look fantastic, man. Like, what did you do? And he was telling me how he changed everything up and he's trying to rework himself into a more fit, big guy. And I think he's doing a fantastic job.
He is. He's killing it.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. For someone that's over 400 pounds, he's athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, he really can move for a 400-pound guy. Like,
do you think he's still 400 pounds right now?
He told me 420. That's what he listed himself.
He does not look like a...
There's no way he's 420 the way he looks now.
He does not look like a 420 at this point in time. But hey, maybe...
He lost over 100 pounds.
I don't think anyone in wrestling would ever lie about their height or their weight.
No,
that's
come
absurd.
on now.
Yeah, that's complete legit.
Everyone in the 80s over 6 foot tall.
So what do we have next?
Next was a singles match for the Impact Women's Championship or Knockouts Championship. I don't know what to call it. Knockouts.
Awesome match.
Taya Valkyrie with Johnny Bravo, who was amazing outside, beating Tennille Dashwood. And not like a clinic like you're going to see with maybe an NXT women's match, but if you like old school 80s character-based wrestling, this is a great match.
Was Johnny Bravo anybody before?
He was a referee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
he was a referee that Johnny Impact and Taya paid off, and he became their little lackey.
Okay.
So another thing behind the curtain here.
Taya has a great look.
Oh,
so does Emma.
They were both
whatever.
phenomenal. Emma killed it.
I think Emma's so hot.
Yeah, she's definitely.
And for the two of them and the capability between them, I think the only thing I would have liked to see more in this match is maybe more of Taya's Lucha Libre background. Yeah. That would have hit the spot for a match like that.
I think they were trying to do a little more of a character match, and it was built a lot around there was Bravo interfering.
There was a little girl in the front row who had a thumbs up, thumb down sign.
Yeah.
And the PPW match came out, and Clutch not Clutch Adams, the $1 billion guy.
Charles Mason.
Charles Mason comes out, grabs this little girl's sign, and tears it right up in front of her. I loved it, and I was like, "This little girl's gonna cry."
Yeah.
And like a true amazing wrestling fan, she turns around, she gets tape, and she fixes her sign and sticks it right back in his face. And I was like, whoever this little girl is my hero. Like, her parents are raising her to be an amazing wrestling fan.
And then Johnny Bravo got it again.
Then Johnny Bravo got it and ripped it in 4 pieces. And she turned around and goes, "Get the tape."
and I hate to blow up the guy's spot because before and after the show, Johnny Bravo was like the most polite person and nicest guy ever.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with him at all.
So
neither was I until that night. But oh my goodness,
we were handing our stickers and pins out, just trying to get anyone to know that we exist. And I had 2 stickers left, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk up to the next 2 people I see. I'm gonna hand them a sticker. No idea who they were. We're on the side of the parking lot. It's super dark, and I just see I thought a husband and wife and putting a baby in a car seat. It's like legit what I thought was happening. So I walk up and I said, "Hey man, hope you really enjoyed the show. They did a great job out there. We're a local podcast. Check us out." And I handed the guy the sticker.
Yeah.
And I looked him right in his eyes and I went, "You look really familiar." And it didn't hit register. And then she goes, "Oh, cool, let me see." And I gave her the sticker and she goes, "Awesome." She goes, "I'll definitely check you out." She goes, "Only if you put us over." Does not look like the same girl in wrist, like, because she obviously didn't have her extension. Like her hair was different. Yeah. She had glasses. She's in a hoodie. She's in street clothes. No idea who she was. And even though she's like, "I want you to put us over," I was like, joking around, obviously, not
What does that mean?
Yeah, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And I looked at him. I was like, "Oh my god." And then I didn't realize that she's married to, probably one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet in Johnny Morrison, Johnny Mundo, Johnny
John Hennigan.
Johnny Hazelton, as we chanted him. She goes, yeah, is this your first Impact show? I said, well, no, technically I've seen the other one when Johnny was here. He's a big draw for me. And she goes, yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And then I gave them the stickers, and they seemed really cool with it. No idea who I was handing it to until after I put it in their hand, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened.
That's cool.
But yes, they were so nice. Even in the parking lot, they were super cool. And I was like, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go home and I'm subscribing to Impact Plus. I liked what I seen tonight. I'm an Impact fan.
Oh, cool. How much is a month?
I think it's
$7.99.
$7.99 a month. And you get all the old TNA, and then
you get the Global Force stuff too.
Yeah,
I think there's some indie stuff too, like
all 2
Border
weeks
City.
of the Global Force.
there's
Global Force ran for about a year.
Yeah, there's some other stuff in there.
I actually went to their show in Harrisburg.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
But great match. Emma was amazing in the ring.
Yeah.
Looked good. I still don't understand why she was let go from WWE.
Neither do I.
They were silly for that one.
She actually just did a report, and when she was talking about it, she said it was a complete shock to her because she had just gotten home from the show she did. And
she beat Asuka.
Yeah.
She beat Asuka clean in a tag match.
And then the next morning, she wakes up, gets a phone call like 9 in the morning. Hey, we let you go.
Yeah. She's a great look.
I don't know. Yeah,
she's a great look.
Yeah.
She does everything right. So she's definitely. I mean, if you want to talk about a face in the company and you want to watch for the women's division because you want to see Tessa Blanchard, I always call her Emma.
I always call her
Tenille Dashwood and Valkyrie are two people that are in that as well that you're like, man, you should watch.
Changed it to like Gemma.
And it's so funny because there was in Canada there was a reality show called World of Hurt, and it was all these people that were either trained by Lance Storm or kind of related to him in some way, and they came back to do like a finishing school with him, and they were both on that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know if anybody else that was like a big star was on there. But yeah, those two definitely were.
Well, I'm just interested to see what happens with Taya Valkyrie because her contract is coming up, and usually her and Johnny are a package deal. So wherever he goes, she goes.
He's kind of just in limbo. The rumor day was going to WWE, but nothing so far.
Maybe she'll be on Survivor.
Well, when they said that he's going to WWE, he came out the very next day and said, "Oh hell no, that's not even close to true."
Yeah. And then moving on to the next one was for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. The North defeated Willie Mack and Rich Swann.
Willie Mack's so good.
Potentially one of my favorite matches of the night.
Yeah, very fun tag match.
Rick Swann looks like he lost a lot of weight. He slimmed down. He
was never really a big guy,
but he's slimmed down. Like when we seen him, he was still new to Impact because he was coming off his WWE run
and the little trouble,
the allegations and stuff. I'm not saying he looks bad. I'm just saying I think he cut down a lot, which I think makes him even faster in the ring. He looks great. He looks amazing. Did you notice the chant we had going in this one, Paul?
What was that? I did not.
We had a USA chant going against the Canadians.
I did hear that when I was sitting there. I'll tell you what. That's the first time I've seen the North. I've never seen them before. I've seen Ethan Page at in singles work, but I've never seen them as a tag team.
Very good.
That was one of my favorite matches of the night.
I agree.
I actually,
I know how good Rich is. I never saw Willie Mack in person either, and Willie Mack can move.
Yeah, he's real good for his size.
And so charismatic, too.
That was a very well done match. It was really good. And I know, I'm not to even skip ahead, I know you guys weren't there on Sunday, but the North wrestled Sam and the Sambo show Sunday.
Ooh.
Which was tremendous. Tremendous. But they're really good. They're excellent.
Yeah, very, very talented tag team. I like them a lot. Their ring gear is really cool. They have we just got I was going to try to build that wall just 'cause I thought it'd be even funnier. But I was like, we won't do that one. We'll just stick with USA.
But same thing with Ethan Page. I got a chance to talk to him during the meet and greet. And as everybody knows, he had a big spot in Evolve when EC3 and Drew Galloway were released from Impact on their way back to NXT. And basically, if you don't know that EC3 was Derek Bateman in NXT the first go-around.
Right.
I got to share my story with him, how we were at a house show right after EC3 came to NXT down in Bethlehem. And he was collar and elbow in the corner with somebody, and I just yell at the top of my lungs, Derek Bateman. I've never seen a guy break character faster in my life. He turned his head, snapped in the direction I yelled, and said, "F you, buddy."
Yeah, it was funny stuff. So
then after the tag match, we have Eddie Edwards beating Mahabali Shira. Mahabali Shira.
And it's great to see Shira back.
I don't know him at all.
So
I know Eddie Edwards.
Shira was in WWE for a hot minute,
and he was kind of big for a little bit in TNA.
As more of a
Impact.
gimmicky guy. He was like
Yeah,
a dancing.
they did the Shira Shuffle. It was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, geez.
yeah, it was like the Destination America days. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the low of the low.
Yeah.
But he was in their mid card, upper card. I mean, he was in main events.
He was getting a big push when their India TV deal became a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good match. This one didn't blow me away. I'm not gonna lie.
And if anybody actually goes back and watches this match, I don't think Eddie Edwards was too happy with it either. The way he left the ring, I don't think he was that impressed by it.
I think what's his name looked great in the ring. The guy who played the Indian guy.
Mahabali Shira.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna try to pronounce his name.
I thought, don't butcher that many names in the same night.
I think he was good, but once again, I'm the guy who liked Jinder Mahal. So
yeah. No, Shira.
I didn't even see half these guys in a
lifetime.
Hall.
He was getting the push of a lifetime when Destination America and the India deal came through, and his contract came up, and you're like, we're not going to renew you. WWE picked him up because, of course, he was like that big, kind of semi-jacked big guy that Vince wanted. They brought him in NXT, and I don't think he ever made TV. He made a couple of house shows, and they released him.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
for the X Division Championship,
Here
Ace
it is.
Austin, the Triple X Division Champion, Ace Austin,
Triple X
defeated Jake Christ, who Andy and I may remember more from Irish Airborne. Yeah.
Is it bad that I met Jake Christ in the bathroom?
Did you?
Yes.
I met Don Callis in the bathroom.
Really? Don was, that's
Like,
cool that Don was there.
Scott and I went down to go to the bathroom before the show started, and I walk in, I look, I'm like, oh my God, that's Jake Christ. And I'm standing like as far down as possible, and it's like, hey, what's going on, Jake? Just
Paul, was Scott D'Amore there too at either of the shows?
Scott was there, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, so that's the two guys that run Impact. Basically. Scott D'Amore
Don
and
was
Don
there.
Callis.
Don was there Saturday. He was not there Sunday. Scott was there both days.
Oh, cool.
Don was doing
Very cool.
commentary with Josh Matthews.
And if anyone wants to go on Impact Plus and watch Team Canada, you'll see Scott D'Amore.
Yeah.
Team Canada, one of
From
the best.
2006.
One of the best, probably heel factions I've ever seen.
Yeah. But to this match here, so their gimmick, I guess the other team stable's name is OVE.
Ohio versus everything.
Yes. And I guess they're pretty over. Like
it's hit and miss. It's like it's people chant OVE, and then the other half of the crowd will be sucks after it.
So
they're pretty much the top stable in Impact right now, being that it's Sami Callihan, Jake and Dave Christ, and Madman Fulton, who came out at the end.
Yeah.
And Madman Fulton's only 6 months released from WWE, and he jumped right into Impact like it was nobody's business.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what? If everyone's chanting OVE, I mean, it's too easy. It's a softball. We just started the ACE chant, obviously ACE for our boy Ace. Awesome match, man.
Yeah, definitely.
He didn't miss a beat. I think he looked amazing. It looked like he deserved to be an Impact guy. And he looked like he deserved to be a champion. He did a great job.
And for a guy who's been on that stage for relatively little time, he is so good at looking at that camera, doing everything to the camera. Like he knows how to be a big company wrestler already.
Yeah. I'm very super happy for him.
That's great.
And he brings his family to every local show he goes to. His mom and his sister, I believe, was sitting down in front of us.
Yep.
I just felt bad because I talked to him and
No, don't do that. No.
Well, his grandmother could not be there.
Yeah, we'll just say that. Yeah, I don't want to put his business out there like that. But yeah, I seen him with his interaction with his grandmother, and it was the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Him helping her out of the building. She was there to support him, and that was one of his last indie days before he got signed.
Yeah, an
Outbreak. Yeah. So awesome job, Ace Austin. Super. You got fans in us. I got the T-shirt. I spent it. And fun fact: if you don't want the T-shirt that says "I banged your wife" on the back, his other T-shirt is just as cool. It's
He had
a
a bunch of them,
It's a
yeah.
purple shirt. And it says Ace Austin on it, and it's really really cool design.
Maybe do one Tessa shirt.
Yeah.
Just
one
Randy?
Tessa
One
shirt.
Tessa shirt.
Did you
Please.
try Pro Wrestling Tees, maybe?
No, because I'm not paying $27.99 plus something for shipping.
They were
Like,
$30 a shirt
Well,
for-
when you get Pro Wrestling Tees,
Even
it's going to be like
even the
$35.
AEW shop is $30 a shirt. We're not even paying that much for a shirt at PPW.
Yeah. Who is the guy who does the T-shirts at PPW?
Tim Embler.
Tim. I told Tim he needs a punch card because I get like 4 shirts on every time I'm there, and I start laughing. If you're looking to grab a T-shirt, right? If this is a selling point for you to get in the door to go see a PPW show, I'm going to do it because first off, you're going to see amazing wrestling. But there's a guy there, Tim. If you're looking for an action figure, if you're looking for maybe an old school autograph that you can't find anymore, if you're looking for just any type of merch, he has them. The dolls that are just came out are there,
Yeah.
and his T-shirt collection is unbelievable. He charges $20 a T-shirt.
Or the bargain bin for $5 or $10 a shirt.
Yeah, he has the bargain bin ones, but his T-shirts that he got now, and he's working on getting more and more like legend style style T-shirts.
That's the big sellers.
He had a Doink the Clown T-shirt. It was awesome. He had an awesome Razor Ramon shirt. I got the Dusty Rhodes one. I almost got the Razor one. It was that good.
Yeah, this is purple. I think I'm gonna get that for my mom.
And they all had that classic faded look to them too.
Yeah, they're super. I got I bought. See, I usually get the indie people stuff, but they weren't set up that night.
Yeah.
So I picked up the Adam Cole shirt, the Ace Austin shirt, and then the Dusty Rhodes shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can get a Christmas PPW faded throwback shirt.
Yeah.
The ringer.
Well, PPW is always looking for different shirt ideas. That's my forte. I love
ugly Christmas sweater shirt for the 21st.
I'd love to get another T-shirt. Like we're looking to wear stuff. And like I said, the problem is with T-shirts is running once a month. You end up with a big stock of them if you don't sell them.
Yeah.
We don't. You know what I mean?
The St. Patty's Day one sold out pretty good.
What's that?
The St. Patty's Day ones did really well.
We sold every one. They didn't even make it past the meet and greet.
Wow. Yeah.
We bought 4 dozen. They all left.
I think if you do a specialty Christmas one for that show, I think you'll do really well with it.
You could dub it "Wreck the Halls."
Yeah.
I think Bow Limit Soldiers might sell pretty well.
Bow Limit Soldiers.
Bow Limit, yeah. And then make it look like you as the Master P album. Like with the chains and gold, and we'll put you get like a Dana Steele and Kristen Marie behind you, like video girls, and then you on the front just looking like a gangster. It'll be amazing.
Down like 2 flat tires, right?
I'll buy one. We'll put a grill on you. It'll be great.
All that money spent for braces, I'll be wearing a grill, right?
Yeah, but definitely one thing about this match is whenever OVE's in the ring, the crowd is very vocal. I don't think that's that might be the first time I've ever seen OVE and his chant just gets stopped right away because somebody else has something better.
Yeah. You're welcome.
It happens.
and then we're finally the moment that Tony's been waiting for. Rob Van Dam defeats Rhino by disqualification. Apparently, I don't remember.
Rob Van
should
Dam
not
with?
have happened.
Rob Van Dam with?
I don't
Katie
remember the
Forbes?
match. Yeah, I don't
Katie
remember the
Forbes.
match.
Yeah,
though,
well, all I remember is the music
remember.
hit, and then there was a girl there, and I didn't see anything else.
I heard a bell ring at some point.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The one thing that kills me about this match and how it ended, RVD introduced the table. 9 times out of 10, if you introduce the weapon and it's used on you, you don't get disqualified for it. But God forbid, Rhino put him through the table, and
every company
Rhino
has its own rules.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys noticed, that was an old school table. That table, heavy.
Oh, boy.
Rob had some trouble getting it in the ring.
Yeah, he was struggling to get it out from under the ring.
And when it fell back on top of them, it looked like it didn't feel good either.
Yeah, well, we took that out to the trash after the show. I thought someone for sure would take it.
Yeah.
But nope.
Wow.
But it was old, heavy table.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's rough to go through.
So some cool things happened that night for us, especially when it came to this match. So Tyler, who couldn't be here tonight because he has to watch his kid, took what we were calling creepy pictures. Her pics, where he was taking pictures of butts, or especially her butt. But I mean,
how can you miss it?
It was hard not to take a picture. And he took a picture of her when she was in the ring, straddled the bottom rope with the chair in front of Rhino's face.
Setting up for the Van Daminator.
Setting up for the Van Daminator, and he took a picture.
Van Terminator.
Yeah, the Van Terminator. He took a picture of it and put it up to All Things Pro Wrestling, another page that he he helps run. And I guess she
saw it.
Someone sent it to her, or somehow it got to her, and she used it on her Instagram page.
Awesome, yeah.
And then I said, "Oh, cool! That came from someone from our podcast, Tornado Tag," and she liked it. And then we shared it. I said, "Oh, today's a good Monday when the goddess Katie Forbes uses your post on Instagram." She liked our Twitter follow. And
That's
then
cool.
I made a post saying, yeah, two amazing ECW legends step in the ring. Childhood dream complete. But then the problem is you don't see a second of it because Katie Forbes steals the show. And she liked it. So she was all about, she gave us a lot of love on social media. Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, I love the thing Van Dam does now that he's a bad guy, where
it's so weird.
He goes up to the ropes for the Van Terminator, she sits up the chair, and then he just jumps off the rope and doesn't do it.
Yeah, and pretty much tells the whole crowd to go.
He does the rolling thunder, but doesn't do the splash.
Oh man,
he purposely does not do it. He did not do a 5-star.
Really? Wow.
Well,
he didn't do any of his. Well, he just doesn't do any of his signatures.
The Rob Van Dam thing will put the hands on, we get Rob, and forget it.
Yeah, he just doesn't do anything he's known for.
Do anything. That's an easy night.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's so weird though seeing RVD a heel after 20 some years in the business. They finally give him the big flip.
Hey, When he was in ECW, he was back. I bet just everyone liked him.
Yeah. So the last match of the night here.
The last match, and
That was not the main event?
No, the main event was for the Impact World title.
I forgot, yeah.
And I was a little worried for Paul Bowe there when Sami Callihan came out and started throwing chairs in the ring.
Yeah.
I did not even see that chair coming. I lost in the lights. I didn't even see the chair.
Wow.
Yeah, you almost get
hit by a chair. Bully Ray threw a chair and it almost hit me. I literally, with those lights, are so bright in your eyes, and I was announcing him coming to the ring. I did not even see. I was announcing Cage. I didn't see Callahan throw that chair. And literally, I mean, another guy at ringside said, "You almost got hit with a chair." I'm like, "Yeah, well, thanks for telling me after it's laying next to me." He did the same thing on Sunday, but this time I was waiting.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've never really seen the guy wrestle. I know he did some stuff in other promotions.
He's in NXT for a minute.
Yeah,
a hot minute.
So he I know people who were sitting next to us that we were friends with were like, "How do they expect to sell this match?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like,
"Wow, man!"
And they're like, "This guy looks like a bum, or like a guy you would see in like Frackville, Pennsylvania, at the grocery store,
versus this monster.
versus this just Greek god, like the person who doesn't even look human." And I said, you know what? The best way I could describe it to them was, Sammy kind of has that Kevin Owens
grunge look.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's your average day hero, but he will do what it takes to get the match done. And then by the end of the match, you believe that he can beat this guy, which is a great character builder for him.
And Callahan is easily one of the best performers in that ring right today. People might not see it, but it's true.
Yeah. That's the best way to describe him, because Kevin Owens is the same way. Kevin Owens steps in between those ropes, and you're like, how is this fat guy going to beat John Cena? And then he starts going, and you're by the end of it, you're like, I bought it. I bought right into it. Casey Navarro is the point. Casey Navarro steps in the ring, you're like, how's this little guy going to do this? And by the end of the match, Casey Navarro looks like he's 6'3", 230 pounds like everybody else. That's a good thing to have in the ring.
If you think about it, Brian Cage initially started in Impact in the Gut Check Challenge, which was like a tryout, got cut, went around the indie circuit, picked up steam, caught on with a couple of companies, hit Lucha Underground, and next thing you know, Impact's calling him back saying, hey, can we try this again?
Brian Cage did awesome. And I said, I earned a lot of respect for Brian Cage, and I became even more of a fan. The fact that he was sitting there as probably one of the top billed guys in the company in a gym in Hazleton, really actually paying attention and watching everything.
The former heavyweight champion.
He could just be sitting in the back.
Exactly. You could have never even seen him, and nobody would like. And he wasn't the only one doing it. So like after Moose finished, Moose sat on the other side of the on the bleachers and watched. Tessa came out and watched in that spot.
Wow, cool.
Like, and no one the cool thing with PPW is no one bothered them. They're like, you know what, they're there. I kind of I walked over to get it, throw my stuff away, and the trash can's right there, and I looked at him like, that's Moose. And I was just like, yo, man, great match. I just gave him a fist bump and walked away. Yeah. And then when I went to go grab a drink, Tessa was there. I was like, yo, amazing match, Tessa. Thank you so much. It was awesome to finally see you in person wrestle.
How about some shirts?
And she goes, I should have. I just said thank you. And that's all I gave, is a quick thank you. And she goes, you're welcome. And she goes, no, thank you. And then I just walked back to my seat.
That's cool.
So a lot of the Impact guys were just kind of sitting in the bleachers with general admission, just watching the shows, which is really cool to see. Like, I like that. I like that shows they're still about the business even though they're signed. And I think that's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
So, foremost and final, Paul, what is your 3 big takeaways from this past weekend?
3 big. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a success again. That's the main thing. Like I said earlier, I couldn't be more prouder of our roster, of the way our guys performed. And then the last one, I would say my third one, is on a personal end, just sitting in, like when they do their production meeting, and just watching the behind the scenes things and seeing what I can basically take from there and talk to. Scott is so knowledgeable about that stuff to begin with. I'm the one that's the dummy. He knows stuff. He went to school for it, but I could say, okay, now I get why you want to have a production meeting, and why we want to talk about this, and why we want to go to this, and why backstage promos are placed where they are. It was just more of a learning experience for me with that. But the crowd was great. The community supported it. Sunday was a little bit of a lighter crowd, but still a fantastic show. Anybody who went there really enjoyed it. But in the third part, like I said, the learning experience for me was something. I'm a student of the game. I want to suck as much in as I can from wherever I go, whether it's in my professional job or whether it's in wrestling or in, broadcasting or whatever. I want to be the best I can be someday. So that to me was a valuable thing that I can't even put a price that I learned.
Yeah.
But like I said, the main thing, this was for our guys to showcase their talents. Like I said, if PPW didn't make a cent on this show, I don't care, and neither did any of my partners. We wanted it for our guys, and like I said, everything was a success. I'm sure there'll be another one next year. Next year is far enough away that I can recuperate, and it got some new fans in the building.
Yeah.
And, it introduced some people to PPW wrestling that, hey, maybe they'll come in December, maybe they'll come in January. A lot of people, down your way, down Fractal way, and then I work in Pottsville. They never heard of us.
I'm sure we're trying. We every time that there's a show, we usually bring about 3 or 4 more people that's never been to a PPW show.
Hey, someone puts a PPW flyer at Boyers in Pottsville because I see it there.
Yeah.
That's me. I put one in there all the time.
And I tell them when I'm on it, please save it. But when I'm on it, not that I'm on that many, not to throw a dig, but when I am on it, it always disappears. But when I'm not on it, it's still there after the show.
Because what probably happens? Probably like someone in the Lexus family sees you on that
takes
and they
it.
snatch it. Andy has a super fan that watches all the shows, and anytime Andy's on something, she tries to snatch it up.
So the key is put Andy on the poster and they'll snatch it.
There we go. Yeah.
I'll make a note for that.
That's one of my stores that I work at every day. Boyers.
So who are the big names coming in for December, Paul?
Well, December right now is still we're still in talks with a few names. The Meanie's coming back. The Blue Meanie will be
awesome. Real quick, if you want to talk about. I don't meet many people. I don't do the meet and greets. There's only one person I did a meet and greet with, and that was Enzo. But for the most part, I really don't do meet and greets. If I can see them and have a conversation, I'll try, but I keep it very brief. I don't want to bother people. That's just kind of how I am. But I had the pleasure of meeting the Meanie twice, and both times I met him, he is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's going to do Meanie Claus for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
He has a blue, Santa Claus outfit. That's what I'm told. And also, Veda Scott's going to be there.
Nice. What would it take to get Mick Foley on the show?
A lot of money.
Well, we had him once back in September of, I'm bad with years, maybe 2014, 2015. Packed the place. But since then, his price has tripled.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do many shows.
Yeah.
And when you get into, some of the guys we talked about, I'd love to bring Kurt Angle in.
Ooh.
We'd love to bring
I'd stand
Kurt
in that
Angle.
line.
But unfortunately,
it's pricey.
Price to bring these guys in, as opposed to what you'd have to charge for a meet and greet.
Yep.
To pay and say, hey, we charge you guys $100 to meet Michaels or whatever, or Sting or whatever. Would love to do it. But to pay his fee, you know what I mean?
A lot of the, and this is not a
you won't
dig.
make your money back.
This is not a dig to our. It's more or less just a tribute to our area. People in our area that, especially like wrestling fans, they'll spend the money, but not everyone has the money to pay that. That's why when you guys do hey, the $60 and you can get everyone, it's affordable to our area, and it's something I hope that the wrestlers, when they come in, they're like, okay, I'm not making what I normally make, but you got to realize in our area, a lot of people that come to the show. Probably disability, but they're still wrestling fans. But they'll do whatever they can to get to that show, but they don't have the money to drop $100 per person. Yeah. So I think that's a good thing you guys do by doing those bundles.
If anybody said it best, it was Austin Aries at the last show, saying that our area reminds him of back home. Working class people, hard-working people. I mean, we all work hard. We all do what we got to do, but sometimes money's just tight around here. It is what it is.
If you bring a family of 4 to a wrestling event, okay, even a family of 4, and you want to sit in the front row at a WWE show, you're paying $100 a ticket. At an indie show, I still think we're the cheapest around at $20.
I absolutely agree.
Probably pay, even the house shows, I think, are more than $100 now, which is crazy. It's a fucking house show.
SmackDown, the tickets for SmackDown tomorrow are $157 to sit just in the bottom.
Yeah. And that's what I always tell people too. If you're one of those people who are like, oh, I only go to the shows because I want the name brand person. I want to see the big guys of the company. most of those guys that used, like the biggest guy, AJ Styles, there's so many people who've came through those doors that you could have said you've seen for a $20 seat
And
that have gone on to do big things, and that can happen right now at any point in time with the way the wrestling business is.
That was the thing with ECW back in the day. Like, I have friends whose their dad had to give Mick Foley directions back on the I-95, or Chris Jericho and him were telling old jokes. You know, you never know that's going to be.
Realistically, man, like seeing Ace Austin, there's people in here who are more of a fan to him and support him now more than anything because he made it to Impact, because they got to see him in these small gyms. Yeah. It's kind of like a badge of honor to a fan. Like, we've known him before this, you know what I mean? And for him to come back and do exactly what he did and sit there and hang out the whole night and talk to everyone
and be the same person
and be the exact same person is a reason why he'll be a superstar in a company. And every time they come to this area, he'll do well. He'll do well.
I'll tell you guys something. I tell this to everybody because it's always a question I get. Of all the people we brought in here, they always ask me, who was the nicest person you've ever worked with? And I honestly say the nicest person we've ever worked with was AJ Styles.
How about
that was the most. We sat, we talked football, we talked baseball, we didn't even talk about wrestling. We talked for an hour.
I could talk to video games with him forever, all day long.
He introduced himself as Alan, not AJ Styles. I mean, he was just a good guy. Like, you could take him anywhere you want. Another one was Jack Swagger. I mean, he went out for lunch with us. We went for lunch. We went afterwards. We went to Applebee's. He came to Applebee's with us. Wow. He hung out. Like, it's just a super, super nice guy. Down, nothing. But for, like I said, so many people you meet, and they're always saying, if they're horrible people, if you don't even want. But the nice people, truly, we've been blessed by everyone we've had in here. Most part, I've been super people to deal with.
Yeah.
Super.
All right, well, we're gonna let you go here, Paul. We are getting a little bit of a fuzzier connection, but I want to thank you so much for calling in, putting together this amazing show for the area, and kind of doing like a step-by-step for us. Everything will be online. You can check it out. It's all on Impact. You can see the Hazelton shows on Sunday and Saturday. Check it out. It was worth it, man. Impact Plus is $8. Do it.
See the Sunday show on Twitch.
You can see the Sunday show on Twitch, but I would definitely recommend it. If you're going to pay $8 for a wrestling service, it's worth it, man. Especially if you want to, even if you want to buy it alone, for Kate Forbes, it's worth the price. Or you can buy it for Ace Austin and kind of follow that local guy around and keep an eye on his career. It's definitely worth the $8.
And while you're at it, PPW, what is it? The 21st, right?
December 21st.
December 21st, PPW. You will see us there and the Blue Meanie.
If you have kids that are even remotely wrestling fans,
do it.
This is a great Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Take them to a wrestling show. It'll be so, especially if they've never been to one. It is something they will remember.
Yep.
Buy this trading card set.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
$20, 40 cards. That's well worth it.
Yep.
The Bow Limit Soldier t-shirt's coming out soon.
I don't know about that, but
we're going to get it made.
Before I go on, listen, guys, thank you so much for having me. I just want to give a plug to our website, ppwwrestling.com. On the YouTube page, PPW Entertainment. You can get to it right from the website. Andy Hedder's on there this week with a fantastic match against Sebastian Cage. I don't know if you guys saw it yet. We just debuted it on our episode.
Yep.
These two absolutely tore it up, and I told them that after them. Both of them absolutely killed it. Andy, and like I said, I love Andy. I know him a long time. He's such a good guy. I'll see him tomorrow night at True. But Andy can work with anybody, and I'm not just saying.
Thank you.
He can adapt his style. We had a nice conversation last time. We always do. And he's one of the easiest guys to deal with. Any promoters listening, book Andy Hedder. I'll just take 10%, Andy.
Yeah. After that put over. But hey, Paul, well, nobody says anything bad about Paul Bow.
Never.
I've never heard anything bad.
Never.
He's the shit.
And if they did, I would spit on them, Paul.
Yeah.
Hashtag Hedder for heavyweight champ.
Yeah, my God.
Listen, even if, like I said, I know you got a stacked tag team division, but people are calling for blue and gold to PPW.
Yeah, no, I like Drew very much, and I love Andy. Like I said, if we have any openings in our tag division, I wouldn't hesitate to put a word in to bring them in. Like I said, unfortunately,
that's a stacked
division. Our tag division is crowded.
Yeah,
and then like we could have 4 tag matches a show if we really wanted.
Yeah, could.
And they would all go over.
Even one of your most recent tag teams, Sent the Slaughter, Dan Maff signs with Ring of Honor.
Yes, Sent the Slaughter got Dan Maff got signed. So one quick plug, and we'll let Paul go here. Also, go check out the Wicked Turtle Network on Facebook, YouTube, everything. Those guys do a great work. They're pretty much. they're pretty much the main podcast guys over there in PPW. And
Don't tell that to the Sambo show.
Sambo Show is also another podcast and wrestling team that you can check out. And I'll tell you what, the way they brought us in as outsiders, they could easily been like, you guys are doing the same thing we're doing. We don't welcome you here. You're stepping on territory, but it's not even like that. Everyone gets along. They let us do what we got to do. They work with us. We work with them. We cross brand all the time. So check out those guys as well. But thank you once again, Paul, for everything.
Yeah, and like I said, thank my partners, Anthony, Scott, Ryan.
Yep.
Alex.
Thank you to everyone at PPW, from the people who step in the rings to the guy who put the ring together, to the people who set the chairs and tables up. Everyone, you guys do an amazing job.
And thank you to Holy Family for letting us use the gym, because that's a phenomenal.
I agree. That's
Absolutely.
a good spot. All right, take it easy, Paul.
All right, guys. Good night. Have a good night. We'll see you. Andy, I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yep. See you later.
See you,
Thank
Paul.
you for putting me over.
You owe me $20.
Ain't that bad.
We got to get you a blue and gold T-shirt.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I like those shirts. I'm going to get one.
Cool. Okay, I'll hook you up.
Take it easy, bud.
Fat guy. All right. Bye-bye.
There we go. 2 interviews, 1 show.
2 interviews,
How
1
about
show, and they're both amazing. So we are running long, but that's all right.
What we
I
doing
think, you know what?
time-wise?
Well, technically, no, because we started late.
Well, let's,
We actually started early.
yeah.
We started before 9.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
So we're not gonna. We'll try to fly through it.
Yeah.
We all sucked. Let's just
Okay,
let's just go.
I only seen the last, the last match and part of the Cody
didn't-
versus Jericho.
I didn't see any of this card.
So, and it sucks because there's no way to really watch the pay-per-view
Really
unless
sorry.
you download it.
Really sorry for that card.
What card? Who's that? What?
That's yours.
Oh,
You didn't do too well, Andy. It was not a good night for you.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I had something. Look, I got Riho right. I got Sean Spears
I think
right.
everybody got
I got
Riho right.
Moxley right. I got Jericho right.
These 2 top ones.
I got
crushed you.
SCU right.
Those top
Yeah,
ones
0
killed you.
points. Yeah, but look at all their
Yeah,
points I got.
Yeah.
Let's say the
Being-
only match I didn't get right was Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
B and Britt Baker did me in here badly.
So we'll just kind of go through it. So we had the first match is this. Now this is Pro Wrestling Scorecards. If you want to play along next pay-per-view, go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. They're a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this. I think it's fun. I think it makes watching the pay-per-view even more exciting. It's absolutely free, but you can make a donation to them and have some fun. So currently going into this, Tyler is our Pro Wrestling Scorecards
Okay.
Tornado Tag Podcast champion. All right, so then we'll find out how this went for everybody. So we got Brie Priestley versus Britt Baker.
B. Priestley.
Brie
Jesus
Priestley.
Christ.
B versus Britt. All right.
There you go.
So Britt's the winner by submission. 12-minute time fun match and 10 near falls.
10. Whoa.
Yep.
One thing I learned going through this, I need to really up my counts in AEW for near falls and
Yes.
moves.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a Gargano match.
And the one thing I do like is Brie Baker's finishing move, lockjaw.
Britt
It's like,
Baker.
Sorry,
You're getting it
Britt
from
Baker.
him now.
Yes.
Yeah. But like a crossface with a mandible claw. It's
she's a dentist.
ingenious. Yeah.
Get it?
So I think the person who had the most points on this match was me. I had Baker for the submission and actually hit the 12-minute time limit on the dot.
It definitely wasn't me. I had 0.
Yeah,
I had
zero,
8.
zero.
What'd you have?
I had 13.
All right.
And-
13 points.
Austin had
6 and Tyler had 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, not many people. A lot of people went with B.
I thought they would give her a little bit of a push
Yeah.
to kind of get
Yes,
her
it
going,
would.
but
Yep.
it's not.
Then we have. I'm not going in any of the order of the show. I'm just going across the card here. Adam Page versus Pac.
Hangman.
Adam Page wins by pin. 7 aerial moves. 19-minute match time.
I almost had the aerial moves.
That actually ran a little longer
Hey.
than I thought it would have.
Aerial moves 7, 6. You get plus or minus 1.
Yeah, you got it, didn't you?
No.
All right. Well, here.
So I would've had-
That's
3
kind of
more
my
points.
fault too. I was hoping.
I would've had 3
I was
points
hoping
there.
check the results here.
I did really well on that one
3.
as well.
One your bottom score.
I had 3 to your bottom score.
3.
3.
I had 13 points in this one. I had Page for the pin. I did not get the area moves, but I hit the match time again on the dot.
What'd you say? 20.
I had 19. 19
Ernie
on
had
the
her
dot.
match on Impact. On,
Dynamite.
this week. That was very good.
I had 11 points on this one, and Austin had 3. He had Pac with a pin, and
Tyler also had 11 points. Tyler did really well. And then we got the Young Bucks versus Proud and Powerful, we'll just say.
Yes.
They won by PNP, won by pin. Ortiz made the pin over Nick. No outside interference and 10 super kicks.
Wow. How about that?
Which is weird because usually Matt Jackson's the one taking the pinfall in all the
yeah,
matches.
that's why I had Matt. Yeah,
I had
I
Matt,
reversed.
Tyler killed this one, 17 points.
Wow.
Austin had 19.
Yeah,
he
Austin
got
had
everything. He got everything but who took the fall, and he got the super kicks exactly.
Yes, so he almost had a perfect score
How
on
many
that
super
one.
kicks were there?
10.
Damn.
I wrote 5.
I wrote too many, and then in parentheses 11.
I had 8.
I had 8 as well. I scored 11 points on that one. Then we had John Moxley versus Kenny Omega. Moxley wins with the pin. 14 different weapons used.
I wrote 6.
I had
Yeah.
6 too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob wire used, yes. Wrestler bleeds, yes. Match enters crowd, yes. And no one even came close to this with 39-minute match.
I should have realized.
Now, what was that weapon at the end? Was that a box spring or a bed frame?
They called it a
trampoline.
They called it a
Trampoline.
barbed wire spider web. Is
Yeah.
what they called it.
It looked like a trampoline.
I had
was
17
in
for that
CZW.
match, and Austin also had 17. For
I
that
had
match.
17 as well.
I think I'm the closest one when it came to match time. I had 28 minutes.
I
But
put 22. I wouldn't think it would have went 38.
No,
Especially
I
with
didn't
all the
see that
weapons.
either.
for some reason, I didn't think Kenny would bleed.
Broken glass. Yeah, but he did. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna bleed.
Not
if
wasn't
it
like
head.
pouring,
Yeah.
but yeah.
he bled legitimately. I had 14 points that one. Tyler had 14. Austin had 17.
I had 17.
At 17, yeah.
So most on that one was 17.
Yep. Lucha versus SCU versus Private Party.
Brothers.
So we got SCU wins by pin. Kazarian makes the pin. Cassidy takes the fall. 12 aerial moves.
Wow.
I had 13 points here.
11.
11.
I got-
Tyler had 14.
Wow.
Austin had 11 as well.
Yeah, Lava Skull. I got 11 too.
And then we got Joey Janela versus Sean Spears. Sean Spears wins by pin. Chair uses a weapon. No. Blanchard Blanchard interferes. Yes.
Kelly Blanchard is a great manager, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 11. Tyler had 11. Austin had 8.
I had 11.
Yeah, everyone did really
If he
well.
would
on
have
that
used
one.
the chair, I would have had perfect score.
Yeah,
Yep.
same.
Pretty much everyone, I think, was on the same boat there.
I think more or less in a match anymore. If Sean Spears doesn't use a chair, it's a loss.
Well, yeah, he didn't.
He's one of them guys where it's not.
It's not doing
I
it
don't
for
get
me.
it.
He's-
I don't
it's
get
not
him.
sticking.
They're kind of, he's Cody's friend. I think.
Ryu
That's
versus Emi, right?
Riho versus
Riho.
Riho versus Queen. Riho wins by pin. 10 minutes over match. Yes. 8 near falls, 6 aerial moves. I had 11 on that one.
I had 11.
Tyler had 11. Austin had 8.
I had 11.
I had 8.
Yep. And then Jericho wins by submission over Cody. Outside interference, yes. 10 near falls. I had 8 here total.
I had 8.
I had 8.
I was expecting the Judas effect.
Austin had 14. He had Jericho by submission, and he had yes to outside interference and 9 near falls. So he
Technically, can we call that submission? I mean, they threw the towel.
technical submission.
It's
it would be.
technical
Yeah,
submission.
oh, is that the? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then when
I
it
like when
comes
he's stomping on his head. That was pretty cool.
when it comes down to the unscheduled appearances,
I didn't do good.
I had 0.
pre-show
two.
does
I got
not
1.
pre-show does not count.
That's where I had my problem.
So Kong doesn't count. A lot of people had Kong. A lot of people had Britt Baker.
I had
a lot of
Brandy.
people had Dustin, and some people had Jack Swagger. But
had
Jack
Dustin.
Swagger was billed to come down with Chris Jericho, so that's not an unscheduled appearance.
Whereas Sammy Guevara wasn't,
Yes.
and I got a point for that.
Yep.
MJF
Was
wasn't.
Brandy with Kong in the
Yes.
pre-show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
so
was a
I said
run-in.
Kong and Brandy. And
So did I.
But they were pre-show.
What did they consider for unscheduled appearances?
So,
I don't think there was many.
somebody not on
there was
the
a
show
lot.
card.
There was a lot. Daniels, Kip, Ford, Sammy, Rere, Malenko.
Riri.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The Great Muda, MJF, Arn Anderson, and Cutler.
Yeah, look, I wanted to see who. Yeah, Riri.
Maybe I just wrote it fast. I'm not sure who it was supposed to be. I had Daniels, I had MJF, I had Sammy, Dustin, and Jake. So I didn't get credit for Jake, and I didn't get credit for Dustin.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had 9 points.
I really thought Dustin would have came out.
That is interesting though. They're doing the thing with Kip and Penelope Ford.
Yeah,
'cause
'cause
that's a
they're-
real life thing.
Yeah,
I
they're
thought it was-
dating, and she used to be dating Joey Janela.
Wow. So I think it's really interesting how they did Dean Malenko, who actually had a rivalry that concluded with Jericho in that same arena.
How about that?
Yep. And Jericho was like, hated that he was there. He was a problem.
He was one of the
I actually
one
did a
of the
lot
judges.
better than what I thought I did.
Yeah. So Andy, what did you finish with?
So 78.
78. Andy did finish last with Dave in second to last
80.
with 80, but then it went
I was next.
Brian with
83, I believe.
83.
I think it's in your hand. Yeah.
Yes, 83. Then it went Austin with 98 or no 95. Or no, I'm sorry, 92. Tyler with 98, and then your new champion Tony Blackwell with 103.
Oh, wow, you got
He cheated.
Someone broke 100.
Yeah,
He cheated.
first time champion here.
about
I demand a recount.
Yeah,
We're going back. We're going back to the group chat and we're checking your.
Did you
answers.
ever put your picks in the chat before?
Yeah,
the
really.
show?
I did not, but I
Yeah.
did have them in. I'll take a picture.
We might have to.
An asterisk.
He gets
but no.
169 out of 170.
No,
one
so
wrong on purpose.
going into the show, I did have different picks going in, and I kind of was like, I'm not going with Cody. I thought about it more. I watched the.
I think we're gonna have to hang the belt from the chandelier here. And we're gonna have to hold it up for 1 week.
No, but I think I got lucky a lot with match times. Is definitely what got me getting lucky with match times. But yeah, so I
I
know
coming
now.
from the guy who has the papers in his hand to write whatever the hell he wants after the show is over.
I didn't get the papers till after the show was over. I had the paper the day before, and I filled them out.
It took so long to come out.
I know now
Yeah,
for the
Friday.
future for Survivor Series. Well, not for Survivor Series, for whatever the next AW pay-per-view is going to be.
Which is not announced yet.
Match times up. Near falls up.
Yeah.
Super kicks.
Super
down.
kicks. No, super kicks was good. I was good. I was within one. And aerial moves way up.
Yeah. So just the only other thing we didn't talk about real quick is just the Jordan Miles thing. There's some reports that he may be going through some stuff.
I
right
think
now.
it's. I think he has it's some mental.
He has some
issues.
mental health issues, and I think WWE's like, you need to go get help, and he's like, fuck you. Like he is completely snapped.
Because he posted that video that's say he quit WWE,
But he was actually let go.
cursing. Well, I don't think there's any official statement yet.
Yeah, I think
But,
they were like, you need to go home, and he was like, I quit.
I think they should.
I don't want to talk about this. I mean, I think he's pretty much put it out there, and he said what he had to say, and let's leave it at that.
There's some inside information that's saying that there's close people to him that are concerned.
It's more than the shirt now.
Yeah.
You know, I think anyone can see that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to go to any other wrestling companies right away.
Apparently, he hasn't even been in the performance center since September.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they said there's some issues going on.
You watch that first video, you can tell something's up.
Yeah,
I think it ain't.
And listen, if it is mental health issues, man, I hope the guy the best. I hope he can get the help he needs. I hope he goes and seeks that help and he doesn't spiral.
Because he is really good.
He is super talented. And then the last news that we'll end here on the thing.
WWE Backstage.
WWE Backstage. CM Punk is back, ladies and gentlemen.
You didn't see the page. It was a deep fake.
It was a deep fake. Yeah, Kayfabe News put that out there. But the coolest part about that video is
he's signed by Fox.
the only one who was in on it was Renee.
Yeah.
Everybody
in
else
her
was
70s outfit, which I thought was terrible.
Which everyone, Paige legit marked out. Like she was legit excited.
And then he comes out to the camera and he basically looks dead in the camera. He says, "You think you have all the answers, and then I change the questions."
No, he said they think they have
That's
all the
the Roddy
answers,
Piper one.
but I changed the culture.
So he changed it a little bit.
Yeah. So
And I'll see you next week.
and I'll see you next
So
week.
this is actually opening the door.
do
one
you
would
do
think.
you tune into now to Backstage because CM Punk's there?
No.
I might.
No.
I'll like maybe DVR and watch like that part.
I don't even know when it comes on. I don't know where it comes
This
on.
still doesn't mean anything. He's back in a backstage role, and nobody's really going to take it seriously unless they hear CM Punk's returning to the ring.
I disagree. I think
disagree
Backstage
too.
as well.
Remember when Kurt Angle was only in the video game?
Yep.
Sting.
Yep.
That's all
Brock
Sting got in.
Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yep. I think people are going to watch Backstage now.
It's the
Once
way to
that
open the
door, once that door creaks up and it gets knocked down eventually.
It won't be at Royal Rumble, but WrestleMania.
I don't think he's going to wrestle until Vince is gone. I think once Triple H is more in control, I think he might say.
Punk doesn't like Triple H either.
Yeah.
like,
Punk don't like many people.
Nah. Even the people he does like, they get sued later.
Does AJ Lee come back with this?
Eventually.
I think it's a perfect time for her now with the women's division being as good as it is.
And she was actually good then.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, if Punk is going to be in for WrestleMania, who do you put him with?
Oh, I don't know.
Daniel Bryan.
Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then you have to put him in NXT. Probably a Raw or SmackDown guy.
You think, yeah? It's a tough question.
I don't know. Do you just have him wrestle a heel just to be a heel? Like, does he wrestle The Miz just to be The Miz?
Corbin.
You know what they should do? They
AJ
should
Styles.
AJ Styles. There, that's
AJ would be amazing.
Yeah.
Or just bring back Ryback.
Oh
No.
Who has said he thinks Vince will sell WWE soon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere Ryback's like, hey, someone wants me on the show.
I mean, Adam Cole and CM Punk sounds like probably a strong favorite.
Although if you're doing
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say if Seth Rollins is gonna go heel,
I want to wrestle Sam Punk.
Well, he tweeted and said, "Fight me."
Yeah, I seen that. Well, everyone wants.
And also Bray Wyatt tweeted him.
Yeah.
And said,
Here's the thing about Bray Wyatt. The character's awesome, but when he gets in the ring,
that goddamn bell's got to ring.
yeah, like what's his name says.
Although the rumor now is Daniel Bryan might be wrestling Bray Wyatt at Survivor Series, And the one guy that could get an amazing match out of Bray at that
Hopefully
Royal
he
Rumble was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up here for Tornado Tag. We did go a little long, but thank you once again to our guest, Foxx Vinyer. I knew I needed help with the last name. And Paul Bowe.
We'll get the enunciation board for next week.
Yeah.
Paul Bowe was very
It would have been very funny if you would have messed up Paul Bowe's name right
Paul
there.
Bio.
Yeah, Paul Biola.
Of the Bow Limit Soldiers.
Yeah, Bow Limit Soldiers. You heard it here. Hashtag that. I want signs of PPW, Bow Limit Soldiers.
You're not even going to make a sign.
Yeah, I won't. I don't make signs. But if you guys are brand new to us because you got a pin, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll probably spend more money of the podcast to give it all away, so check that out. We hopefully next week this looks a lot better and we look beautiful with the new camera setup. New mixing board and stuff's going to be coming hopefully soon. And then we'll have
new stuff for the holidays.
Yeah, all the new stuff for the holidays. But thank you guys so much for the continuous support. Check out the links below. Everything we have, all PPW links will all be there, and Vox's stuff will, or Fox's Fox.
We might put something from Ryan Vox. We'll ask him if he has anything.
Fox,
Like
Fox's,
the company.
We got to get Noam Dar to... Fuck.
Yeah.
Fox's links
Maybe
will
we
be there
can
as
get
well.
an update out of Ryan Vox.
Yeah, and then you can also check out our merch page, and you can go grab a Tornado Tag perch.
Who's plugging what this week?
We're just gonna end here. Murder my dude.
Hey, I know that show.
Call in the Power Ring and some Bellini place in Pottsville. See you guys next week.